Wake up, gamers, because you're listening to Big Think Dimension with Dan and Bob Video Games. Hello, neighbor.
I don't like that.
Chris Wolfart.
Hidely ho, neighbor.
And Dr. Aggro.
2.
Here on GigaBoots. I don't get it. Why didn't they call the second one Hello Neighbor, now you don't?
Oh my god. Oof.
Hello, everyone. I bet you're all going to be surprised when I cut to the digital set because...
Hey, look at all this stuff. I like black square. I like big purple square.
This is great.
This is a quality outfit we're running here.
This is what it's like without RTX background removal. So if you can imagine, the room has been purple this whole time. Wow.
This is the weirdest RTX off-on meme I've ever seen.
Yeah, it doesn't fucking make any sense to anyone who doesn't do this exact thing. I'm gonna maybe turn those on now.
Hey guys, do you remember when Jeff Keighley ended the Game Award, or sorry, the Summer of Gaming, by having Neil Druckmann come out and ramble about the Last of Us TV show and show one picture of concept art for
The multiplayer game that
game.
never happened.
Yeah.
Yep.
Didn't they also show the part 1, the remake? I think they also did that.
I think that was also there. They're like, it's coming. It's gonna look beautiful.
Was that there?
I think it was all three. It was like, oh, this is really... Jeff thought he had a win here, and it's like the biggest L ever aired.
The funny thing is that apparently Neil Druckmann was a little too reactive to criticism, so all kinds of things about 2's plot was changed in that new season, and everybody hates it.
See, that's weird because the thing that upset everyone about the game is still true of the TV series and pissed everyone off as well.
Right. So,
that man.
So does Ellie end up becoming a marine biologist or what?
Yeah, she
I
becomes.
didn't fucking watch it.
She becomes a pregnant
I just know that they do.
biologist.
I just know that they like I don't know if it was Craig Mazin doing it, but it feels like they were like, we cannot make Ellie a remorseless super killer. We have to not do that. We have to keep giving her rope.
Yeah,
where she can be like softer.
It feels like Craig Mazin would just point at the actress and be like, Neil, you think people want to watch a whole season of this person disemboweling people? This is
Druckmann's not even listening to him. He's just shouting past him at the actress, happier and with your mouth open.
yeah.
But I think it's very funny that the show has all these changes when Neil Druckmann acts like he's been shot anytime anybody responds to anything he does with less than glowing praise.
I'm the bravest member of Big Think. I tried the Sprite Plus 2.
I think you just go to gas stations the most.
Well, it was relevant to go to a gas station recently because I needed gasoline. But some genius at some level of the company that owns Sprite, which I assume is Coke, almost definitely, thought, what if we fucking put tea in it? And it's like, okay, you're gonna add like a citrus taste on top, like a real lemon flavor, or change the sweetness or do anything with it. And they said no.
Well, that would be authentic.
Just put bottom quality, fucking bargain basement tier tea powder in our Sprite soda.
It's like, on paper, it sounds like it should be good. It's like an Arnold Palmer's good. It's like lemonade and tea.
It's like perfectly bad on both ends. The tea end of it, not good. The Sprite end of it, it's fucking Sprite. If it was 7-Up, it would be better. I'm gonna have
Sprite. If Sprite had like 20% less sugar, it would be a pretty solid soda. But it's so unbelievably sweet.
Did you ever want your Sprite to just have an aftertaste?
I would be remiss if I didn't post the shirt that I think of and laugh about every single time Arnold Palmer's come up.
Oh,
It always kills me. I just always think of that and it kills me.
Holy shit. It's a lot.
That's really good. That is really good. One moment. I gotta get that
Yeah,
on stream
you gotta
for
show
sure.
I'm sure people know. A lot of people know what it is already, though.
Uh-huh. That's awesome. Who drink Arnold Palmer? What aggro do you?
that is like that object. It doesn't seem like somebody made it. It seems like an analog horror mimic trying to trick people.
Like you find this in the liminal space Goodwill.
This is what happens when we have so many laws about what an AI can and cannot do in regards to movie production in the future, that somehow they were still left in responsibility of costume design, but they can't do anything else. So this is the shirt that an actor has to wear out in this scene. No. Is that guy a really big Twin Peaks fan? God, no. Do they drink Arnold Palmer's? No, they're allergic. The AI thought deep on this one. Hey, chat, are you excited for Titanic 2? God. I wonder how long this can keep up. That's the thing I wonder. Because as we were talking about like months ago at this point, the movie trailer thing, the fake AI movie trailer thing got so bad that there are so many people confused who think they're real.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's absolutely a thing.
And just at some point, the movie studios will lose their minds and do something about it. It feels like enough people will be pissed at them for shit that isn't real.
Yeah, it's like... It still isn't good enough to use in a professional context. And it's not becoming the infinite money fire everybody engine that these companies, these people promise. So a lot of these, like eventually Disney's going to stop looking the other direction.
Yeah, feels like it.
I'm honestly surprised that Studio Ghibli has not sued Elon Musk yet. Like, I'm genuinely shocked that they have not filed some sort of lawsuit against XAI, as the company is now called, for people just posting, Grok, draw this, but they're in a concentration camp in Ghibli style.
Yeah, it feels
underneath like people's art.
You have some pretty solid ground somewhere there. Seems like.
Because I feel like there might be some kind of plausible deniability if it wasn't explicitly, it makes Studio Ghibli style art. Like if Studio Ghibli wasn't in the title.
I nailed it.
Oh, he's wearing the shirt real.
I'm wearing the shirt. Hey, chat, do you like my shirt? Who drink Arnold Palmer? It's gonna be something, right? There's a breaking point. It's gonna happen, it feels like.
Hopefully, yeah.
Or we all just burn together.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, yeah, that's always an option, I suppose. So, Micro Center had a deal. Is the M4 Mac Mini for $450, Memorial Day sale. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Hey, one moment, we can go to Best Buy and get a price comp because they're one of the approved retailers that you can price comp for. So I'm like, okay, that's awesome. Me, Bob, we go to the other side of town. We go to the Best Buy. Lady at the door is like, hey, what's up? Can I help you with anything? I'm like, oh, I'm looking to price comp, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I walk over to the section. The guy who's selling the Apple stuff, he's busy. So eventually that person wanders over and they're like, oh, do you need more? Do you need help? Like, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I wanted to buy this Mac Mini. This is the price it is at Micro Center. then they go, oh, does Micro Center ship? I'm like, well, your webpage doesn't say anything about it needing to ship. And she's like, well, it has to ship. And I'm like, yeah, nothing on this policy says that. She's like, well, it has to. I go, oh, okay. I leave the store, order it on my phone for pickup in the parking lot, walk in 10 minutes later, and then pick up the Mac Mini for the price that it was supposed to be. Chat, if there's an inevitable conclusion of anything you're engaged in, please don't waste human life. That's my only request going on here. That's it. Life is short. Don't waste people's time. Anyways, for the next 10 minutes, Bob is going to eat rice crackers into the fucking microphone.
Yeah, I deal with people who wanted to, like other managers who wanted to do that at GameStop. It's like, I'll get the money. They won't. The customer will eventually be worn out and they'll just leave, even though I'm just going directly against the policy here. It's like, what's the point? They're gonna go down to another store and do the same thing. It's all the same place.
Right.
And then they'll find someone who's actually nice to them and they'll just leave a bad review for our store. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're accomplishing literally nothing.
This does not help anyone.
Do you think that the problem with all business is that everyone in any sort of position of leadership is spiritually identical to a GameStop manager?
Yes. Next question.
I guess that makes sense because GameStop is basically a store that provides no real value.
It could. I don't think it actually
if they
does
stop
anymore.
Carrying fucking anime figures.
I mean, let's not go crazy here.
Yeah, they'll never do that. The margin's too high.
So,
do you sell any of them? It's not about that.
When we do sell one, which we don't know what so that does or doesn't happen.
Which is going to happen, we're told. So for anyone who's curious, that's the size of a Mac Mini nowadays. It's absolutely fucking tiny. It's slightly taller than they used to be, but that shit literally fits in my hand. The reason we got it is if you have been watching our live streams of events, you may recall when we full screen video, it just starts shitting its pants on Windows 11 now. This is a new hobby it has. If I'm using a monitor and the TV, it will absolutely shit its pants if we full screen any stream. If you don't have a full screen, you'll be fine. Our most recent event, we had it almost full screen. We zoomed in and set YouTube to theater mode and then cropped the extra area, and then we still started dropping frames at some point. Windows 11 is a fucking virus. Don't think Cortana. Cortana's fucking dead, in case you didn't hear. This already works. Works great. We're able to output an HDMI from it. And check this out. Capture the video.
Whoa.
So we can watch a video while talking about a video. It's fucking crazy.
New technology I've never heard of before.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that thing's pretty nice. Stupid powerful. Really stupid powerful.
Valve, please just make OBS work on SteamOS. Make a browser work on SteamOS. And like that's it. Like so in games, so many fucking people just switch over to the thing that just works.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You know, that's why Windows held off Linux for so long, because Windows mostly just worked.
Mm-hmm.
Until like 10 years ago when they got prion disease.
See a bunch of people saying OBS works on Linux, but there are like a billion asterisks that the two Linuxy people in chat saying that are not including, like all sorts of assorted filters, plugins,
do
and
I
software
run an
do not fucking
installer
work.
and do I run an installer and then it works? Then it doesn't work. Sorry, to 99% of people, that is the bar. Like, I'm sorry, Linux heads, you really need to accept that.
Like, there are VTubers I know who would love to move to Linux. However, there is no viable way to do that on Linux at the moment. Especially 3D VTubing. 2D VTubing, I'm not sure. It's 50-50 on that. Yeah, like, no, it's not that simple, chat.
I don't know how many times I've said this, but for a new thing to take off, it has to be easier to do the same shit you always do, or let you do more for no additional effort.
Yeah.
If a technology does not fulfill one of those two conditions, it will not take off, which might be why AI is fucking cratering.
Yeah.
And reports are coming out like, yeah, this company mandated widespread ChatGPT usage. It didn't improve productivity at all.
Weird.
Someone
in chat says, is Linux the Saturn of OSs? No, the Saturn's fucking cool as shit.
Yeah, Saturn has Soccer Wars.
And Panzer Dragoon. The good one, not the remake.
And Linkle Liver Story, which I'm pretty sure is supposed to be Linkle River Story, but you know.
But we can't prove it either way. And Princess Crown.
Yeah.
Saturn's pretty fucking cool. Pretty fucking cool. Yeah, Shinobi Legion. Everyone loves Shinobi Legion.
Now is Linux literally Sonic CD?
Sonic CD's too good for that comparison. I'm sorry.
That's true.
Linux is an important backbone to various important systems. I would not say Linux is a viable third OS in this space,
which
for normal consumers.
I think it's like now is the time. Like almost so many programs and apps are just made for use through a web browser these days. So it's the easiest it's ever been to take over the market.
Yeah, I feel like there's room. I feel like there's room for some fork of Linux that's just like, we just need to get these really common apps and things that the average like PC gamers or whoever use bulletproof, and then we take over, which might happen with SteamOS. Like Valve would love to fucking rip Microsoft's spine out.
I'm seeing someone in chat allege that I'm a Linux user, and I'm about to just like ban them. These are serious words. Mr. is Linux. Haha, I just said like the PS5's Linux at that point. What's the fucking point? I have made a valid point. I made that point earlier, but I did it in a way that was disingenuous.
Yeah,
so
I'm not dogging on we're not dogging on Linux. We're just saying for most like average people, they don't want to use like Linux has too many barricades for them to use it.
Consumer space OSs, not what if the backbone of a thing was run with. These are fucking different things.
Yeah, if the only people who engage with with it as a fucking engineer, who cares? That's different.
That's enough of chat. Go away, chat.
Although even then, Windows is starting to become bad enough that it's like, would I spend more time learning? You learn how to use Linux and you in some way develop a greater skill and understanding of something. You spend time troubleshooting Windows and you just want to buy a gun.
That is true, yeah.
Like Microsoft is fucking up so bad that like the balance is finally teetering. Like it's a real snatch defeat from the jaws of victory situation.
Yeah, NVIDIA's trying to figure out that move right now. They're like, hey, what if we just completely fuck over our consumers and make everything rancid so no one feels good buying our products ever again? That way the only people left buying them is AI shit heels.
And that'll last forever.
Forever! Just like crypto. Which they promise,
crypto is going to last forever. Sadly, we're never going to get rid of that shit.
People aren't buying NVIDIA GPUs for crypto in the numbers that they were. So in the context of this conversation, not particularly relevant. Which NVIDIA promises not that many people that year. They promise. Ignore the fact they got fined by the government. It's okay. But yeah, no. So let me put it this way. Okay. I watched X-Files on Plex while in a voice call with someone. Here are the layers that worked in which it doesn't on Windows. I didn't have to go and dig up an arcane fucking codec plugin that they no longer include with Windows that cost money.
What?
I didn't have to turn off my audio interface and turn it back on after starting the call because macOS hid the mic from Discord, a thing Windows 11 does constantly now. When I full screened it on my TV, it didn't have frame rate issues and other bullshit going on. And weirdly enough, the audio system over there just sounds like it literally fucking works better. I think Windows 11 started insanely over compressing all the audio in the OS, because I'll take something from 100% volume on the volume mixer down to 13 and it'll only barely be quieter. Like, that's how much they're compressing audio nowadays. These are all things that this instantly out of the box did just fucking fine. It's like it was sort of, I don't know, functional in the least as a piece of software and hardware. Also, it runs DeckStation all right. So, I can pretend it's a PlayStation. This is a PlayStation Classic. It's just a little bit more boxy. But it runs the games at 1440p with really cool texture filtering and other things that make you go, holy shit. The PS1 looks really nice if it doesn't do that jitter thing, and the textures are filtered nice, and it runs at a much higher res. Yeah. Aside from that, I'm done with the Mac story. I just wanted to share with you all the process of going to a Best Buy and being told by an employee a blatant fucking lie, and then just having to go through the website to solve that, wasting 10 to 20 minutes of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Because holy shit. Why do people do this? That's the part I don't get.
I don't know. I have no idea. You work for a gigantic corporation that's like, you shouldn't have to worry about your bottom line in this regard. Like,
not to that extent.
No.
They want to get promoted. With the way things are going, I don't know that they'll get promoted before all the stores are shut down. Best Buy is not exactly glowing with profit margins. I would be more concerned about the longevity of my store at that tier than a single person getting a Mac for a good price. Yeah, I don't know. It's just... Because now I'm at the point where the high profit things I was going to buy, like by the end of the year, we're on the hook to buy a TV. Mm-hmm. We have to do it. Otherwise, I will have been a liar. Now I don't want to do that at Best Buy. I need to buy USB hubs for this fucking bitch. Because you might notice if you look at it, chat, USB-C, 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 USB-C. And while they're quality connectors, unlike on PC, because motherboard manufacturers are cutting so many corners, I now don't want to go to Best Buy, even though that would have been an instant solution where I could have it in my hand by the end of the day and I could look at it and be like, oh, that's enough USB-A, so I'll get that.
Mm-hmm.
Because they fucking wasted my time. It's
Man,
so dumb.
I'm really starting to become a USB-C supremacist. Like,
yeah, no, USB-C.
It's such a fucking solid connection, and I don't have to think about it at fucking all.
Yeah, no, like I fucking replaced the fucking USB micros on this shit with USB-C because it doesn't disconnect when I slightly tilt the controller. USB-C's really fucking good. I look forward to the day where nothing expects an A. Ever. Where everything is just like, oh yeah, no, of course there's a USB-C at the other end of blank.
Wonder if you can buy a motherboard that only has those ports.
I know the latest generation of AMD boards actually took away bandwidth from the PCI Express to give to the USB-Cs because it's even more USB-Cs and they're actually up to spec this time.
Wow.
Which is kind of cool, except for the part where I fucking needed PCI Express bandwidth of a certain magnitude or shit didn't work. So if I were anyone other than Dan Video Games, which I'm not, I wouldn't need that. I would have gotten the new motherboard and it would have been nice. And it would have been like, oh, look at this.
Yeah,
we got
it doesn't matter
USBs everywhere.
There's no point in me building a new PC if I have to use Windows 11. Like that is until that changes, I'm not building a new PC. Sorry, Nvidia. Sorry, AMD. You're not getting any fucking money from me.
Who would have thought our fates were tied to fucking Microsoft?
Turns out that when a company has a fucking monopoly on a space, anything they fuck up has serious ramifications.
You know, the sweet in chat points out, it's all right, Dan. At least it stopped you from getting an ASRock MOBO I recommended. Yeah, did you hear about the nightmare that is the ASRock MOBOs with the new AMD CPUs? Yeah, so anyways, I dodged a fucking bullet.
Oh, good. Great.
So that's good at least. At least there's
ASRock, 7 hours ago, ASRock confirms its BIOS settings are killing Ryzen CPUs. That's not what you want to hear.
No.
Cool.
No, it's not. You know what else I don't want to hear?
What's that?
The sentence, Mercury Steam is making a new game without Nintendo. I never want to hear that again.
Yeah, I just thought it was just going to be blades of fire.
Why didn't they say that in the game?
I
They
don't
should
know.
have said that in the game, and then they didn't. Go ahead.
I am shocked how dog shit that was. Go ahead.
I only saw the clips that got posted to the Discord. Please tell me they are not indicative of the overall quality of that game.
What were the clips?
The one I remember most is a boss doing a stupid charge-up move and flinging you off a cliff.
That's the highlight.
Yeah.
Blades of Fire is apparently a 40 to 80 hour game that is Dark Souls slop made by Mercury Steam, the only people I've ever known to take things from other games and have nothing of their own. I can't tell you why you would play this other than you want to be a Mercury Steam fan. That this is an important thing to you. There is a blacksmithing mechanic. And that is neat, but that's a mini game you do once every few hours.
Right, that's not something you can do frequently.
Oh no.
Yeah. It might be the most like empty Dark Souls like game I've ever played.
It's Dark Souls, but it's also trying to be one of the new God of Wars, and so therefore has very few characters. So it just, in God of, like, why is the world entirely dead?
No explanation
Unclear.
whatsoever. In fact, they talk of it constantly like it isn't.
Right.
Yeah, there are no RPG stats in this at all, aggro. You don't gain levels. You don't do any of that. It's all in the weapons, so that strips away a huge part of what makes Dark Souls interesting. They still have the weapon crafting stuff.
They have weapon crafting, but you, like we just said, you can only craft a weapon every like couple hours. And then we found, like, we made that one, was it Wayhander or was it
Claymore, I think, or Flamberg?
Yeah, the Flamberg. And it's like, this just for some reason is strong enough for us to just use it for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
That's the power of the wave, my friend.
I guess.
We went so far into the game, finally hit the first boss. What was that, 8.5 hours in or something? And then the boss just respawned.
Yeah, the boss.
And then was in other locations.
Right. He just dies. They don't even, there's not even a cutscene for him dying. He just dies like any other enemy. Even though he had a cutscene to introduce him
because he was set up as the bad guy, and lore-wise, he should be the bad guy of that region. And then we found him elsewhere.
Yeah, then he just respawns later. And I think the whole idea is that he is he cannot be killed, so we'll just keep respawning in that area. But
it's unclear.
It's insanely easy boss that just randomly wanders around this zone. And then they did that again as soon as we ended the stream. I played a little more. They did the exact same thing
with another really important character.
Yeah.
Also, the only thing that was like a big boss and felt good to fight was an enemy that was completely optional that was off to the side. And you defeat it, and it's called like something king, or the king of something. And then your partner just goes, "Oh, that's one of the three kings. If we kill the three kings, we'll get the blank."
Exactly like God of War Ragnarok, where you kill the barbarian king.
Also worth noting, aggro, you have a lad with you, not a boy. And he hangs out near the battle and says things being like, well, I'm a nerdy twink. That's just the sort of thing he says. And then you have a Mimir surrogate as well. It is very direct.
Do you have a Mimir surrogate?
He's a ghost, so he can follow you and keep saying that sort of shit.
Oh, right.
And they made
See,
him...
I didn't connect him with that because I assume he's going to leave after that section of the game, like the skeleton baby.
Mm-hmm.
He just nonstop, instead of being insightful and a nuanced character like Mimir, he's like if Joss Whedon at his worst wrote Mimir.
Yeah, he's got 3 jokes, and that's all he does. He says these 3 voice lines like constantly while you're exploring this area.
The game has a serious problem with like repeating the same voice lines over and over and over and over and over and over, and they're not delightful. Like his kind hates ice and fire both.
Right. It's like it's something that's a conversation instead of like something that's about something going on. It's just
instead of saying a snippet, they will say a fucking stand-up bit.
Yeah,
that's the difference here. Instead of saying, "Oh, you're on fire, it'll pass," they do a whole build-up and punchline delivery that they will repeat 30 times. Like you're climbing a rope, and the fucking nerdy twink kid is just like, "You should stick to stairs because you're old." There's like a whole build-up to that.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Looking
all sorts
at a
of
video
shit.
of boss fights from this game, and that's sure just Pontiff Sullivan, like 1-to-1.
Every enemy we were hitting, people could drop exactly what Dark Souls they showed up in, and they were right.
Mm-hmm.
It truly is a game that I don't know why I would ever recommend it, other than you want to like Mercury Steam.
What's also crazy is, you know how Dark Souls, the whole idea is you can kind of explore the way you want and you'll find something neat and you'll continue the game in some way.
Yeah.
This game is entirely linear, but it has a terrible level design, so you don't know where you're supposed to go.
Yeah, there was a point in the story progression where it didn't at all imply what we were supposed to do next. So eventually, after exhausting all of our things and being exactly where we actually needed to be, so we solved it.
Mm-hmm.
We had to go talk to a character, which then activated a device, and then we went to the exact area we were bumming around in for quite a while trying to get it to activate anything, and then it works.
Yeah, and then right after that, like this part just wasn't tested, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, "Oh, you got the diagram. You can now make this sword, and that'll open this door." So I go and make the sword, and it doesn't do anything. It doesn't open the door. We make a different version of the sword that's more basic. Like, okay, maybe I needed to make it these exact specs. That didn't work either. I think a chat member brought us the actual solution. It was like, no, you need to make it in this exact way.
You literally have to make it with the best set out possible. And keep in mind, they kept saying we had a blueprint.
Yeah.
For this specific named sword. And I'm like, no, we don't. We have a blueprint, vague quotations around this, for this style of weapon, not this specific specking out, because it has all these parts you can change on it, aggro. You know, the hilt, et cetera, like the shape of it, right? So we didn't know we were supposed to make the maxed out saber or whatever it was in order to make the one that works on the door. We dug through every menu trying to see a blueprint. We're like, anything? No? Hello?
Yeah, and a lot of those things aren't like actually the best. They're just, a different flavor of stats distribution. But this flavor of it has a purple thing next to it.
Yeah.
We had to select, that makes its light level higher.
I don't even think it was the only purple thing. I think it was in all of those, it was the purple thing that cost the most.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was very weird. It was very weird. Yeah, that one specific part of the game is the only part that is that magnified level of...
The rest of it's just like, man, this sure looks like everything looks the same in the game, so it's hard to tell where you're supposed to go. It's super easy to turn around. It was like, yeah, there's like 5 different versions of this exact same hallway or this exact same building and structure. So it's so easy to get lost.
Yeah, it's literally just... As he said, it's not like Dark Souls where it's completely non-linear. It is, in fact, very linear, but the areas you go to are absolutely fucking massive, and almost all of it looks palette-wise the same. In Dark Souls, or at very least Demon Souls, you have very strong variety. You have levels with 3 segments in Demon Souls, and they all have different looks among them, and they feel different to play. This, it all has the same color palette, only a few things have a completely distinct structure and interesting area to them of what we played.
The skeleton tower or fortress or whatever is literally like 3 floors of a building that looks identical on every floor. I was like, what do you want?
That was pretty funny, though, because that's where the insane part of the game kicked in, and Bob was trying to save a skeleton child, and then Ghost would pop out and grab this.
A Dark Souls game was an escort mission.
I genuinely did not understand how that mechanic worked, because it was like, he's following you. Oh, enemies popped out. He's gone now. He's in a tapestry, or you need a tapestry to find him. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, it's so messed up because he's on your back. He like rides your back. And if you get hit, he gets knocked off and you have to go find him again. But sometimes he'll just despawn from your back and the enemy grabs him and puts him in a tapestry. And then you have to go find where that went.
It's a somber one. Don't worry.
Yeah. That part of the game was insane.
Oh, and also it's Perry Slop. But, you know.
Yeah, that's not even close to its main problem. If it had, I don't know, enemies.
It's very, I don't know. I was roll slopping. I'll say it was roll slop.
Yes.
How about that? Because I was interested in fighting the king. And then I killed the king. And then we finally ran into the second king. And I was like, I want to fight this one too.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was neat. I don't know if I ever want to do any normal part of that game, though, because it's absolutely massive and really not fun.
The combat's so weird because they were like, okay, each face button is different direction you swing the sword.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Okay, so triangle attacks from the upper, X attacks from lower, square and circle, left and right. And it has the Dark Souls style. If you hit the wall, you know, sword gets deflected. So a lot of it is you are trying to aim at parts of enemies. Now, both your weapon type and your stance will determine whether or not they're weak to you. In some enemies, certain parts will be weak and they'll glow a different color for a short period of time. To show you need to hit this arm in order to really damage them.
And then there's imbuing the weapon with light power. So there's like a dozen different factors that leads to, okay, lock onto the enemy, go through every weapon in your inventory and see what will actually work on them. And change stance with every weapon. It's like, dude, if they're invulnerable to the weapon, they are invulnerable. They take no damage.
They take literally no damage.
Your weapon bounces off of them.
There were multiple times we ended up with only one weapon and one stance that would hurt an enemy.
Yeah.
Woof.
Yeah, you stripped out RPG leveling mechanics and all sorts of other things that should have added depth, and you put in its place the most weird. It's kind of like the thing I always go to for this type of notion of do the moveset but shift into the mode so it actually damages them. Is DMC the DMC?
Right, yeah.
With the two things. And I'm sure there's another example.
I mean, I was going to say that's starting to remind me of the pile of extraneous bullshit that was in Lords of Shadow.
Well, yeah, yes. you got to be dark mode.
It was like it had Lords of Shadow stuff in it. Like it has wait until the NPC runs up and activates the thing, and then you fight guys.
Or even better, you need to turn this wheel. We will let you do that for 4 seconds, and then spawn a thing to knock you off it. For some reason, they're doing this 17 years later.
There's a section where there's 3 coffins that zombies spawn out of. You have to stand next to it to close it, and then your friend has to run around to the other side and help you close it. These zombies keep spawning in.
The zombies keep spawning out of the other coffins and eventually in the middle of the ground just to make sure that they can get to you in time. This was an insane segment of the stream as we had to herd all of the enemies so it couldn't spawn anymore. Herd them over to a specific corner, kill them all in 2 swings, hopefully not anymore because that would take too long, immediately get on the sarcophagus to start doing this thing, and the lad, his AI needs to activate to run around to the correct side of it. So you better hope he's next to you too, so he can start doing his incantation to seal it.
Damn.
Yeah.
This is one of those games where it's like it makes it you can read like a somebody's review of it, and just from their review you can tell whether like do they review a game by starting at 10 and taking something away when it upsets them. Like this is the most crystal clear version of that, because this got a lot of 7s and even some 8s, and then IGN gives it a 5, which is probably closer to where it should be.
I 100% believe that. Yeah.
Yeah, I cannot see a game that's an 8 here. I just can't. You have to be.
You
a
already traded
person.
it in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because as Bob said on fucking Blue Sky, and he's absolutely fucking right, this shit's gonna be free on PlayStation Plus within 6 months.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I think that you would really get into the blacksmithing stuff, Aggro. Like that stuff's really neat.
Yeah, I thought that was fucking cool because they literally simulate like what's the angle, what's the strength, and you have to properly hit it with the hammer to even out the curvature of the steel to match the style of sword. That's neat. That's really cool. Everything else sucks.
Yeah.
I just, based on a couple of the weapon designs I've seen from that game, I am afraid of turning it on and getting into the blacksmithing and going, "What? Have you ever fucking seen a sword before?"
I'm gonna need you to stream that.
But yeah, no, it's fucking ludicrous. I don't know what the fuck, why to recommend this. I literally don't see any reason you would like this game other than you want to like this game. You want to like Mercury Steam. You want to like this game. That's it. There are a million Dark Souls games out there for you right now with better systems and more unique twists in them.
Yeah, I cannot think of any Dark Souls that's like officially released, not like an indie thing. Mm-hmm. That isn't better than this. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
It's like, okay, I might want to play this rather than, what's the name of that one where it got a lot of hype and it was like an indie tier and they tried to hit the visual fidelity of Dark Souls. It was like not Hollow something. But it was very, very Dark Soulsian. No, it was, I think it was PC only. Mortal Shell, thank you.
Mortal Shell.
Yeah, that's why I thought Hollow Shell. Mortal Shell. Anyways.
Yeah.
I might want to play this more than Mortal Shell. Maybe. But I'm not even sure of that.
Played a little Mortal Shell. It's like, I don't know. At least that has an interesting mechanic where you turn yourself into stone. Like, that's more interesting than anything in this game.
Well, I don't know, Bob. The queen turned all steel in the aggro. Pay attention. The queen turned all the steel in the kingdom into stone, which is how she rules the kingdom. Because you can't have swords anymore without the super hammer.
Does she have swords?
Yes. Her people have swords, which is like.
Swords.
Do they turn to stone if you steal them from them?
No.
But that might only be because you have the hammer.
You have the forge of the ancients.
I'm just imagining some like Witcher-esque, like, trying to be more realistic medieval game where it's like. That they don't have steel. We can kill them. We win instantly, and then they just get their head caved in by a paver from some peasant.
Like you can, if you've got two armies lined up to fight and disappear all the steel from one side, you now have a marked tactical advantage. You cannot consistently suppress a local population just by voiping out the steel, you guys. That is not how this works.
Luckily, it's an empty Dark Souls world.
Is all the iron gone too? All the copper? All the tin?
I'm gonna need you to stop asking questions.
They turned off the steel aggro.
How can they have a plot point like that but not get the that one song where it's I turned to stone? They should have licensed that song. That would have been really fucking good. It would have been too good.
Maybe you've shown it happen or something.
They do the map sequence from Lords of Shadow multiple times in this game, apparently.
God,
because there's another map after.
Of course there is. I saw how much map was left.
I was like, that doesn't make sense. How is this game like fucking 40 to 80 hours? Oh, we're gonna Lords of Shadow walk in front of a map to another area.
It is disturbing how close it is to Lords of Shadow in a lot of ways.
It's very funny.
Yeah, it's like, man, you learn nothing.
I saw someone who did not know this game existed get introduced to the game and go, wait, that's just fucking Gabriel.
Yeah.
What the fuck? They just put Gabriel in a new game. Why did they do that? That seems inadvisable. Yeah. It's great.
I think it's really weird that it takes a lot of inspiration from Neo as well as Dark Souls, because it has all the stance changing stuff, and it has the way the dodge work actually works more like in Neo, where it's a little short to dodge while standing up and then a roll if you do it twice in a row.
Yeah.
I think it's really weird that they took so much from that and they didn't understand anything of why that game did any of that. Just like
everything they did with Lords of Shadow, where it's like, we did what they did, and it's like, no, you've captured the form, but not the soul. You don't fucking understand it in the least.
Also, they took the thing from Neo. The whole thing is, okay, you do an attack, your stamina goes down pretty quickly, but if you time your stance button with when your stamina bar refills a little bit, it'll give you a ton of stamina back, and you can keep fighting. In this, hold the block button, your stamina flies back instantly. It's like, you didn't understand it all. Like, I don't think I've ever played one of these where you just didn't get it.
I mean,
to this extent.
That's their MO, though.
I know.
Like, Mercury Steam literally did the Shadow of the Colossus thing and didn't understand 1 ounce of why Shadow of the Colossus is the way it is. And they're like, well, it's cool because it's a big enemy and you crawl on them. And it's like, no, their size and you being so small and it being a majestic creature, and all these things were about something you missed entirely. You can't sit there and have your stamina system and all of these things and just go, But really, he can use his whip to swing up it super fast, and you just don't get to do that as a player. And then Zobek throws 3 knives in its head, and it dies instantly.
What? Yeah, no, the people at Mercury Steam just see games as vague shapes and colors. They don't know exactly what it is, but they at least know what its general look is. So they remake that and put it in their game. And they're like, why aren't we the most successful company in the world?
We
took all the big popular things.
We focus tested and measured analytics, and you pushed the same buttons you pushed in that other game to do a thing like in the other game. Yeah, I don't think this game's very good at all, actually. At all. That's it.
We ended up playing 11 hours or something. It was fascinatingly bad.
Was it only 11? I thought it was 13 or something.
Probably
absurd.
12 or 13. You're right.
I was like, we gotta stop. We gotta stop. We can't beat this in a single stream, and Bob's gonna trade this in, no doubt. There's no way we're keeping this long enough to beat it.
Yeah, no. Luckily, they had a deal at GameStop where if I trade it towards a Switch 2 game or accessory, not the Switch 2 itself, and then I got a 40% bonus on trade, which I believe brought it up to a good solid $40 or something.
Whoa.
It's just like, oh my God.
How much did it cost?
It was 60.
Oh, they know.
Yeah, they know.
They know.
I think day of was worth less than $29.
It's the fucking car dealer thing. You drove it off the lot and lost half of its value.
Yeah.
Oof. Anyway, I'm done talking about that game. I'm glad we streamed it. I was rather surprised that people were not interested in the true successor to Lords of Shadow, made by the developers of Metroid Dread.
Uh-huh.
I'm genuinely surprised.
Didn't we end up chasing around the Chupacabra from Lords of Shadow?
Yeah, that's in it.
Yeah, I thought so.
To the point where he popped up on the screen and I was like, he found me! But that was spoilers for Blades of Fire. I know all of you are gonna go play it. That was the skeleton child wearing the robe. You didn't know what the deal with the skeleton child was yet. And then he was shuffling around and he was about the same size and everything as the Chupacabra. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm very interested for, again, the next time Mercury Steam puts out a game that doesn't have Nintendo. Because I don't know if there's any way they'll even get us interested enough.
Is it going to happen? Is that going to happen? That feels like it's starting. This was clearly a pretty expensive game, and I'm sure taking the Epic deal helped immediate survival, but it also locked that game in a box where nobody's ever going to play it.
Yeah, people just don't know this game exists at all.
Yeah.
Literally at all. We're the only people who fucking talked about it. I don't even know if fucking Pat and Wooly are talking about it.
No, not at all.
It's just us. It's literally, we're the only podcast on Earth that's talking about Blades of Fire, so Mercury's team will find us.
It's true. They've done it before.
They have, actually, yes. There was a time we reviewed their game as a service game, Raiders of the Broken Planet, which then became Space Lords, and they literally astroturfed the comment section to be mad at us.
Yeah, I remember
And we
that.
could tell because YouTube keeps track of where your views are coming from. And we had a weird influx of Spanish viewers. That's for that video. It was
We
very
did not
strange.
have a large, like, we were a very small channel at that point. We're still small, but we were very small. So
Oh,
it was
yeah.
very obvious when it's like, oh yeah, like 30% of our views are coming from Spain. That's weird.
Can you imagine GigaBoots was like less than a tenth its current size, and the devs astroturfed the comment section to be mad, and the comments were also pretty obviously from people who made it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Real weird. Real weird. The RPG site TetraCast talked about it too. Oh, cool. I can do my favorite hobby, listening to someone else's podcast and then just being angry over audio production stuff.
Yeah, because I can't listen to any podcast because of Dan.
Was that in your
I'm like,
contract?
Why do I hear the buzzing? Why is there buzzing? Can you not hear the buzzing in your fucking podcast? You can't record this on your phone where you're constantly moving your head away from the fucking phone.
Yeah, to me, the number one thing that has me going, the number one is you record this podcast every week and you can't have people record their audio individually. So you can edit out the sound of this dog or people talking over each other. That's just something you can't. Okay, that's fine. And it's not like they have an excuse like us where we're live on Twitch right now with Big Thing. And of course, every week we do an edited podcast. It's just...
He said, dude.
Yeah, it was going to be that. Why did it have to be that?
How the fuck are you like this,
Too bad
man?
you can't edit that shit out.
Damn it!
Fucker.
No! See, this could be you. Make sure you edit your podcast. That was a good PSA. Good job, everyone. Good job. Good job. Good job. Next PSA, don't do drugs while driving a car. Okay, Bob, I'm going to need you to smoke that real crack pipe right now.
Oh my God.
But yeah, no, that's I was doing some driving recently, so I had to listen to other podcasts and
Do some drugs.
do some smoke a crack.
This very real crack pipe.
It's right here. Oh, you can't see it. It's slightly out of frame and very real. It's rough out there, fellas. It's rough. I know people who have good quality microphones who show up in other podcasts and maybe their audio sounds like shit because it's a Discord recording. Maybe. Theoretically, possibly. Maybe. And that's it. That's it. I'm done talking about other podcasts.
Right.
So I'm going to go ahead and say something right now. There are so many listeners of Big Thing Dimension that also listen to Pat and Wooly, and I referenced Pat and Wooly earlier. They're going to be convinced it's them for some reason. Despite all of my comments not matching up with that, they'll be like, I see. Like a sleeper agent
they do
getting
theirs
activated
live,
who's
so-
wrong as fuck. Yeah, theirs is live too. They have a reason to not edit it. So obviously it's not them, but again, people will just be like, oh, I hear you. Kill Ronald Reagan. I'll be like, try.
I mean, I'm not gonna say don't do that.
I'm
I
gonna
mean, it's
say,
kind of hard. Like you have to go to hell to do it.
yeah, it's a little difficult at this point.
It's a really long commute.
Look, if killing Ronald Reagan was easy, somebody would have done it.
I think it's more of an attitudinal problem. People need to reframe their attitudinal beliefs.
These lazy ass kids these days.
I know, right? I blame TikTok. A Doom game where you go to hell to kill Ronald Reagan.
I'll buy it twice.
Where was that?
How has
Dark
that not
Ages?
been a Call of Duty yet?
I don't know, honestly. Call of Duty is really going off the goop. We probably should just have fun with it. You know?
Yeah, there's only going to be like 2 more before the infrastructure all collapses.
Yeah, there's no way the Microsoft can maintain that.
Do you know how many people were in the credits of Black Ops 6?
I don't think I want to know.
9,200.
Yeah. That checks out.
Which is even more than Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is merely, I think, 7,500.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, what's up?
I would ask what else you've been playing. But no one fucking cares. Hey, Chris. Let's us 2 cool dudes talk about Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo.
Okay. Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo is an indie game. It came out yesterday. It is a Game Boy Advance aesthetic, Zelda-like. They call it a Yo-Yo-vania, but it's a Zelda game. It's structured almost identically to Minish Cap.
It should have had fixed tile movements, so that way it was Star Tropics.
A lot of people came in and said, this is Star Tropics like. And I'm like, no, because I don't want to self-harm.
Look, you have a yo-yo. You jump. You can jump over the projectiles very specifically. There's a lot of jumping over water. It's very Star Tropics.
Sorry, it's not tile-based and it has an art style.
Oh! Do you hear this, man?
You don't play as...
This is terrible.
God.
How could he say this? Mike Jones.
Yeah, Mike Jones.
Yeah,
John... What is his name? John... He had the...
I'm going to lose my mind. I know what he's talking about now. None of you will ever guess this. This is an impossible dot. He's trying to connect and I won't help him.
Keep going, Bob.
Go
Maybe
ahead,
I'll
Bob.
get it.
Go ahead.
He used to be a big YouTuber that was on the Game Grumps.
JonTron?
Yeah, he's JonTron. You play as JonTron in that game.
He doesn't look anything like JonTron. He's like a skinny, freckled ginger.
I've never
looks
seen the art. I
literally
didn't see the sprite. I don't see the art.
I'm pretty sure they show the art in the game.
Oh, I'm sure they do. I don't play that game. That game sucks.
I'm just Bob attacks its art style. Has no idea how the main character looks. Bob, are you really gonna? Oh my god! I just dragged an image into Notepad. I've never seen that in my life. That was terrifying. Anyways, Bob, what's wrong?
Jesus.
What's
Oh, hey, that's the thing.
what's wrong with the art style, Bob?
Again, I'm not even talking about the portrait stuff. I'm talking about the the way the game you play looks.
I've had this on my fucking computer since I streamed through it 3 years ago.
God.
Now you must deal with that peering at you.
You look awful full.
Bananette eats good. She's on a delicious island full of delicious food and probably fish. Probably. I assume she eats fish. And 1 sec, this is so fucking stupid. Is that image still here? No, that image is not still here. I cannot put the who drink Arnold Palmer shirt on her. Anyways, yeah, I don't understand, Bob. How is the art style that hideous? Anyways, we got to get back to Pipistrello. We're supposed to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and get out of the way right now. I was given a code for Pipistrello, so you can't trust anything I say about it, even though I played it off stream to keep myself safe from y'all's opinions, so I could form my own.
I bought it, so I'm a shill, and you can't trust me either.
We have 2 podcasters. One of them tells the truth. The other tells the truth. Which truth is truthier, Bob? Which one are you going to trust? You only get to trust one of us.
I don't know. This is a tough choice.
I'm an irrational fanboy for this developer, even though on that stream I'm like, wow, this is so much better than their last game, which was kind of bad. that game being Dodgeball Academia.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this game's really, really good.
Yeah, it's excellent.
It controls really, really smoothly. It just feels really easy to move and do the platforming. It has all kinds of really neat ideas. You have the yo-yo, and the yo-yo can grab things, and then you're holding the thing. So you can throw it, or you can throw the yo-yo without the string, like a frisbee almost, and the item will sit atop the yo-yo as you throw it.
So that way you can bank shot around corners and connect things to other things. And
yes, if your yo-yo hits a diagonal wall or bumper, it will go in that direction. And if you do the normal throw with a string, it will extend further, and you can use that to hit enemies. Or you can throw it without, like, just actually throw it, and it will bounce as long as there is diagonals to bounce off of.
yeah, so it can just fill a room with your yo-yo hitting everything in it if you properly notice that there's a tunnel that will bank shot everything every step of the way. Throwing it, disconnecting it from yourself does do more damage, but if it lands on ground at the end and you don't go pick it up, you cannot use your yo-yo. You now just have your string, and you can whip your string at enemies to stun them.
Huh.
And you can also use that string you're whipping to pick it up if it can just barely reach where it landed. This game is surprisingly deep. It has a lot more systems than you would imagine. It has a Paper Mario style badge system.
Yes, it does.
Neat.
And even weirder, it has an upgrade tree, like just for you. And the way it works is you go to your base. They have contracts, I suppose you could call it, where you need to make a certain amount of money. And until you make that amount of money, that upgrade for you, which you can only do the first tier of, you don't get to keep traveling down it. You need to fully unlock it. That upgrade will give you a detriment. So it will be, your health bar is 1 heart shorter. The enemies will never spawn health. You do less damage. So until you get the hundreds of dollars and pay off the debt, you have to deal with that demerit on top of the ability of the upgrade.
And you cannot pay with money you already had, because the clerk is like, I'm a germaphobe. I'm not taking money you touched.
That's pretty good.
That is a really cool upgrade system. Like, they even let you do that a little bit in the demo, and that's real nice.
Yeah, it's really cool.
In the demo, I booted it up just to play it again for a second. I remembered, you can actually make it all appear on a faux Game Boy Advance and move that in and out and see it. It's very funny.
It is.
Flip it around and look at the back for some reason.
And then they also have different filters for the glass and how it should look inside of it. And the funniest thing is to tell it, no, I want it on that portable, but I want no glass. So it looks like someone ripped the glass off of a Game Boy Advance.
Yes.
You love it. Makes you feel on edge. Like, at any moment, a particle of dust is going to float down and ruin your life.
I think there's a lot more scope and depth to this game on all these systems that are really hard to implement than I was expecting coming into this, because it has the skill tree, and then it has the badge system, and then it has upgrading the amount of badge points you have through the skill tree. And it has this massive city you're traveling through in order to get to these dungeons.
Huh. Yeah, the demo didn't have that.
The plot of this game is that you are a part of a family that is ruining the town by charging way too much for electricity. And the business people of this town just turned on your fucking aunt and disintegrated her. And her soul got trapped in your yo-yo because of this. So you're now going to get her soul back, the rest of her soul, from these batteries that they put her soul into, that these 4 business people all each got. So first business person I went to, I don't know about you, Chris. I only played about 3 hours. How much did you play?
I played about 4 or 5. I got through one entire of the 4 areas, and then I got about halfway through the second.
What boss did you go for first? The mall person?
Yes, I went to the mall.
The mall owner is fantastic because he makes highly addictive fast food stuff and sells it in his own food court, and then runs everyone else out of business with that, using the power of this hell battery.
This game does a thing that so many games don't bother doing, and I've complained about it a few times, but more in the context of RPGs, and that where the contextual is like, it's not just a game with good puzzles. The contextualization of where you are is very good. Also, like, you're running through this maze, dodging turret fire because it's the Hell Arcade. You're in the Hell Arcade.
Mm-hmm. So like,
and then you go down deeper into the guy's base, and it's like the water dungeon, but instead of water, it's fryer oil.
Yes, and it's just bubbling everywhere.
Equips iron boots.
I'm burning. Yeah, it's really delightful and good how they do that. I really appreciate the arcade that's just like, don't worry, these are child-safe bullets. So these turrets are just firing on you. There's also
get a parry that kind of trivializes that area because you can parry the bullets.
You have
and it also kind of trivializes that boss because he entirely revolves around shooting at you.
Oh yeah, I think I played that boss in the demo.
Yeah. You have to go get a new national ID, and instead of waiting in the incredibly long line, you just decide to sneak into the back of the police department to make it yourself. It's really good. It's a really delightful game. It's really
it's a
good.
very tonally, it is very, very Disgaea-like.
Mm-hmm.
Because even when you beat the first boss, Pippet, who is the main character of this game, is talking to his aunt who is possessing his yo-yo because of the plot of the game. And he's like, you know, Auntie, this really only happened because you're charging exorbitant fees for power, because she ran the city power supply. And she basically says, shut up. It's normal to pay your bills.
Yeah, she's like, 1, shut up. 2, that's where your allowance comes from, so shut up. And then he's like, okay, good point. Oh, you're right. I'm a rich kid in a rich family. I should maybe not shoot my source of income.
All right.
She's like, every hour I spend in this yo-yo, we lose thousands of dollars.
I found the sicko way to grind for upgrades.
Oh, yeah? Oh, I think I know what you're going to say.
Because there's an arena that you unlock in the first area, and you can redo the first time you do it. You get like an actual reward. Like I think it's a badge, or it might be a heart piece. I forget which.
Yeah, it's some money and a badge. Yeah.
Afterwards, you get $300, and half of that will apply to the debt. And the enemies inside the challenge also totally drop around $500. So you're getting $400 off a debt every time you do it.
And the interesting thing here is, that demerit I just told you about, where it's like the enemies won't drop health.
Yeah.
The arena drops health at certain waves every time.
Oh.
So it's a great way to level up anything that requires that. I did exactly the same thing, Chris. I power leveled. I was like, this is awesome.
There's some of the badge, like there's a badge that has already broken the game. I have to stop using it when I go back. Where it's enemies drop more health. They drop health more often, which translates out to every other enemy will drop health.
Jesus. Good Lord.
I got a badge where every 5th hit I take doesn't happen.
Ooh.
There's one that makes your after hit invulnerability longer. There is also a skill that does that, and I believe they stack. There's a couple Castlevania 64-esque quests where a guy's like, can you go get me a burger? It's in the central hub. I'm at the far end of one of the areas.
Yep. And so you're trying
to burger explosive.
No, but
I think if you hit an enemy with the burger, it breaks. I think, but just you taking a hit will not break it.
Even that's pretty bad.
Yeah, no, it's risky. It's real risky.
And there's something to do with popcorn, but I haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah,
because there are vendors that sell popcorn.
So,
and if you're holding it, like the birds attack you, like in Zelda,
like attack.
Huh?
Yeah.
And there was an NPC near one that's like, man, I guess I'll have to eat popcorn for lunch because I only have 5 minutes left on my lunch break. So I got the popcorn and took it to them, and they didn't want it. So I'm at a loss for.
I did the exact same fucking thing. I'm like, what? Then what's the point of the fucking popcorn unless I want to get mobbed by birds? Maybe I want to get mobbed by birds. I don't know.
But a really interesting thing the game does is a lot. It's a Zelda game, so a lot of the puzzles are get the key. The game has force fields that the key cannot pass through. You can pass through it, but the key cannot pass through. So a lot of these puzzles are you have to move in a very weird way along these platforms to keep the key from bouncing out of your hands and into the pit, or you have to come up with some way to get the key around the force field. Like one is like, okay, every corner in this room has a bank shot, so just throw it and then snag the key off the other side. And it has a lot of puzzles like that are very interesting, and they keep adding these more mechanics. This was in the demo, but there's the skyscraper level where they have these gears you throw the yo-yo at and it moves platforms. You get the walk the dog move that lets you travel over water.
Yeah, it's basically they made the Pegasus boots from Link to the Past, except for it gives you both an interesting puzzle element to it of you can run over the water, but if you bump into any enemies or anything else, you drop, you drown.
You can cancel it with a jump, though, so it is a little bit more versatile than the Pegasus boots. And if you're good at platforming, you can do some shit.
You can do some shit, and they teach you that really fast because one of the first things they do after you get it is they'll do a gap of water and then at the end a hole. So if you ride it to the end, you'll just drop in the hole and die. Mm-hmm. But then they do tiny little, whatever the currency is, it's coins. Let's just say it's coins. They'll do a curved line of that off of there to teach you like, oh, you could jump and hold down to just safely land into what is the next area by jumping and the momentum carrying you forward.
Okay.
And you pull it down. Really good game. It teaches you so much so well, and there's so much depth to it. Because you can jump over projectiles, but at a certain point, you just bury the projectiles back. But then you get into situations like two guys have a gun. You reflected the projectile into the front guy. The front guy's still in front of the back guy. He's unconscious. Back guy isn't. He keeps firing, and the front guy's the only one taking any hits. There's a lot going on with this game.
Yeah, enemies can friendly fire, which is helpful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, there are these dudes with giant mallets, and when they're about to swing it, they lean back with it. And then a Mega Man Battle Network like grid of like this exact red rectangle is where he will hit with this shockwave pops up. And you can either just step aside or you can time your jump exactly. And it'll make it moot damage. Like it won't affect you.
And those enemies have bad backs. So if you hit them from behind, they get stunned for an extended period holding their back.
Because the hammer gets stuck in the ground and they try to pull it up and they pull their back every time. And it pops up with a bandage and them freaking out. And if you hit them at that moment, they just go, and they are completely stunned. This is a good fucking video game.
Yeah, it seemed to, when I played that demo, I need to pick it up.
This is really good.
The only way I could be happier with an indie game is if some studio just pops up and it's like, here's our knockoff of Grandia.
I see someone in chat. My spine is like that. Okay, here's some tips. So when you're swinging your gigantic hammer at the tiny bat child,
which first off, consider cutting that out for at least a few weeks.
Yeah, to take it easy for a little while. At least, okay? Secondly, Aggro taught me this for our Xbox Series X destruction video. When you swing it, you aren't twisting and contorting your back to move it. You're using your hands, leveraging it, and following it through. You're following the hammer through. Do not use your back as an important part of that, okay? Okay.
And lay on your stomach. Put your hands like you're doing a push-up, and just push your upper body up to stretch your lower back. Hold that for 30 seconds. Go back down.
That's a good tip.
Do that 3 times a week.
Welcome to the Dad Cast. We're now just going to give you advice on how to treat your body right. You drinking enough water, gamer?
I feel like I can't even this is a Louis C.K. joke and he's a scumbag. But he has this joke where he goes to the doctor and is like, yeah, I have this problem. The doctor's like, okay, here's some stretches you can do that'll fix that problem. And he's like, okay, how long do I do them? The doctor goes, you're 40. You just do those now. He's like, well, what if I don't want to? Just take like 5 ibuprofen every day.
Oh,
Yeah.
And he's like, but won't that fuck up my liver? Eventually, but do you want to not stretch and your back to not hurt? Or your ankle in this ankle to not hurt?
Yeah, that's the thing. The thing you need to realize, okay, is you gotta start taking care of your body, okay? You going to the gym, you working out. Some weight loss can go a long way towards feeling better. Just do some stretches. Maybe if you're in a space where you're definitively overweight, lose a little weight. It's not easy, but it has quite the impact. Drink lots of water. Subscribe to GigaBoots. Yeah, I think that about covers it. Probably tier 3. We need
to get Mr. T in to give us this spiel.
Stay in milk. Don't go to school. Anyways, there you go. Oh, will GigaBoots provide me with gamer supplements? Yes, one moment. Let me go take the before and after picture. I'm going to cover myself in ketchup for the after picture. Yeah, don't forget to become a pod lord. Oh, that's right. Somebody in chat made a typo, and that actually reminded me of a story I was going to tell while we were live, but I will wait until we get out of the Pipistrello.
Okay.
Even though the Pipistrello segment became about back pain. Chris, I don't see any world where this isn't on my top 10.
Yeah, like we would have to hit such an unbelievable... Like we would have to be like, wow, we went into this year thinking that there were no games, but it was 2017 too. Like it would have to be that level. Like I struggle to think of it not being in the top 5 for me.
Yeah. It's really excellently done. And it feels like it offers something really distinctly different from other games that are like 2D Zeldas.
Yeah, I was thinking of how, man, Mina the Hollower is going to have to live up to this now. Because it's another Zelda
that might actually be a contest that they lose.
Right?
Yes.
Like, Shovel Knight's amazing, and I'm sure Mina the Hollower will be really good, but that's how good this game is.
And that's the thing, like, when I think about good 2D Zelda-likes, I actually do think about Death's Door a decent bit, because even though it's 3D graphics, it is in the style of a 2D Zelda. And this and that could not be more different.
No.
The way in which this is combat heavy is really different from the way that handles its combat and everything else. Fantastic game, Pipistrello is. Anyway, I understand if you want to buy it so you could play it on your PS5, but technically you could play my Steam copy.
I was considering it, and then I had choice paralysis, and I had other stuff to do last night. I was like, okay, I have so much PlayStation Stars money, I should just buy this. So I haven't bought it yet, but it's like, it was 2 a.m. I was like, I'll hardly have time to play it before tomorrow anyway. So whatever.
I know that feel. That was me in Doom the Dark Ages because, well, before last big thing. And chat, now we get to tell the Doom the Dark Ages Game Pass story. Chris, is there anything you want to say about Pipistrello before we move on?
No, I got everything out that I have this time.
Yeah, I'm good too. Here's the Game Pass story. If you were not there last Friday, you do not understand how fucking funny this was. I also told this story on Gamma Chris's stream because this was insane. Last Friday, I was like, that's right. I'm not going to have enough time to play Doom the Dark Ages before Game Pass renews. We're going to go and cancel Game Pass right now because I'm thinking about it during this unbelievably long Blades of Fire stream. So I go to the Microsoft website. I go to cancel Game Pass, and it goes, okay, you have 2 options. You can tell it to disable Game Pass in 2 days when you were supposed to renew, or you can cancel it right this instant and get all $20 back. And I'm like,
where did you cancel it from? Because I canceled mine from...
I went through the site. I went to manage subscription. And
That's
when
so
I did
weird.
that, they were
maybe
like...
it's probably because I didn't actually pay for any of it. I mean, I redeemed a card, and a thing they do a lot of the time. A thing they do a lot of the time is if you redeem a card, they go, "Do you want to set up recurring billing right now? We'll give you a free month." If you set up, which might as well just be, we're banking on you forgetting.
Yeah, that's what that means. Every time. So yeah, they were like, hey, do you want to pay $20 for a day and a few hours of Game Pass? No.
Yeah, that was
Of course I
crazy.
don't. I will take the full refund 28 days after I got the subscription. I would love to. Thank you.
You used the entire thing, basically.
Yeah. No, we played. So the entire Series S stream and Doom the Dark Ages.
Yeah, I fully beat Doom of the Dark Ages on Dan's Game Pass.
All
And
of
we
that.
didn't pay anything for it, I guess.
Apparently, we paid nothing. We didn't even really pay for the Series S because I bought it for the game store and then traded it in for virtually the same price towards my Switch 2.
Mm-hmm.
What a fucking weird world. Jesus. But yeah, so thank you, Microsoft, for giving me the $20 back for Game Pass. I honestly, now that Doom the Dark Ages is out, I have no idea the next time my Xbox is worth even looking at.
Maybe we'll know after next week. Maybe on Sunday next week we'll know.
Maybe. Let me tell you what that isn't. Gears remake. I don't give one shit.
Yeah, no, that's... We saw a comparison of it. It's basically nothing.
It's like, oh, cool.
They
great.
definitely didn't completely blow their load in the first 4 months of this year and now just have nothing for like the next 3 years.
That's a very popular. That's very in right now, I hear. Okay, now go ahead.
It sure seems like the whole industry got together and said, maybe if we turn it off and back on, it'll work.
Yeah, I wonder how many of these game publishers are going to survive to the turning it back on.
Right, I was like, well, we can turn it off. We can do that.
We're very good at that. I got this gun here.
I've already fired half the staff.
You mean like you made them not work here anymore, right? Because you just mentioned the gun, and I'm a little worried. So I decided I'd tell this story live because I think this is. I'm going to go ahead and remove the Pipistrello thing and a random story time. So somebody made a typo earlier, and that reminded me of something I wanted to bring up for Agro and Chris to deal with live. So there's that weird food YouTuber guy named Guga who does Guga Foods.
Yeah.
And
he dry ages the steak in something strange.
Yeah.
He's always like, I dry aged this steak for 6 months in sardine oil, and this is what happened. And as a joke, I kept being like, my wife left me. Because half of the time he would be like, I opened it and the smell was fucking terrible. He started getting to a point where those videos weren't doing well enough. So he started doing really weird, what I'm going to call restaurant harassment videos. So it was kind of minor before he still over the line. He would bring his equipment into restaurants to film him eating the steaks, to judge their steaks. And like his candor in those videos are like, oh my God, no, thank you. But recently he took it to a whole new level. He brought $1,000 steak to chain steak restaurants and demanded they cook it. He's like, bring out the manager. Can I talk to the manager? Hey, can you cook me this steak? Can you cook me this steak? This is $1,000 Wagyu steak. Can you cook this for me? And he brings it in
Police.
He brings it in frozen in a fucking cooler. And he did this to 6 different chain restaurants.
Like, one, flatly, no, there are several laws about that. 2, go fuck yourself. 3, turn the camera on. Are you rolling? Okay, go fuck yourself.
So he tries to bribe the manager at one point. He was like, "Oh, I was going to give you a thing if you cooked it." It's so ridiculous that this is the level this dude got to. Mm-hmm. And then after he even explains himself in the done in editing narration, they can't do that because of health code violations and stuff. And it's like, we then cut back to him trying it again.
Yeah.
He ends the video by going to a small mom and pop shop that's like a taco restaurant, like a fast casual, right? Casual dining experience, and getting them to do it. And they do it because he's like a YouTuber and presumably either knew them or was like trying to bribe them. And then he just films himself weirdly reacting to him cooking it. It's just so creepy. He's just over his shoulder the whole time in the kitchen, just watching him cook the $1,000 steak. And then when he goes to cut it, the guy doesn't have a good enough knife. And he's just like, judging the shit out of him. And then he's like, well, guess what? Because you did this, here's a whole knife set. What a fucking insane pipeline being a high-end content YouTuber must be, right? You have to do the thing that gets you 12 million views. Fucking crazy.
Yeah, at some point we need to like confront the fact that YouTube seems to genuinely drive its highest performers to literal sociopathy. It's like, make the number go up, kill him, shoot him.
It's like there's a US law. They have 30 million subscribers. They are legal to kill on sight. No,
we're already becoming RoboCop. This feels like it's not that far off.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Like genuinely how long before we get a YouTuber killed somebody and filmed himself doing it? Like not that was the point of the video. He had a breakdown and killed somebody during the filming of the video.
Yeah, and for some reason it got all the way to the point where he put it up on YouTube because he's so disconnected from reality. He honestly thought he would get away with it. Yeah, but people like me.
Dark.
Mr. Beast here. Today I turned this elementary school into a death game. Thank you, Sammy. Yeah, no, that's what you want to talk about the pipeline to radicalize teen boys. Let's talk about the pipeline to radicalize established YouTubers. Holy shit. That's scary.
It's already getting to the point where we're starting to get like manga starting in Japan that's like kill Americans. Because so many YouTubers are just going over there and starting shit.
Oh yeah, no, they have a sizable foreign YouTuber problem, which honestly, even just YouTuber, I believe, is the point it's at now.
Yeah, that was in Infinite Wealth, the scumbag YouTuber storyline.
No, they have their fingers on the pulse.
There's that one guy I forget his name who kept starting shit in South Korea until everybody recognized him to the point where it's like, get him. Like people just on the street going, get him. Like he actually had to hide away until he could escape. He maybe didn't even escape. They might have put him in jail. I forget how that story is.
He was arrested. I don't know where he is now, but yeah, no, that shit's hilarious. Good. Fuck him.
Yeah.
This whole thing.
Apparently he's going to jail for 30 years.
That's awesome.
Is he that really fit guy who showed up in
Johnny Somali is his name.
Okay.
Chat all erupted his name, and I'm like, yeah, I don't remember the name of this type of person. They're just person who was a problem in South Korea. He's skinny as hell. He isn't fit.
Okay. It's some other guy who got popular for just doing weird poses and stuff in Korea. I can't remember what the deal was, but he kind of looked like the villain from Highlander.
What a fucking specific. The first Highlander film?
Yeah, the first Highlander film.
Okay. All right. Well, chats, don't worry, Bob. We put out the APB. Chat's on the lookout for the villain from, Clancy Brown.
Clancy Brown, yeah.
Did they get him? He's in South Korea doing poses. Clancy Brown right now. But yeah, no. It's fucking crazy how many people I've seen go through the weird high-end YouTube view mill, and it just breaks their whole identity and some of the times their ethics, you know?
Yeah, I have no idea how it happens. Like, you're a millionaire, man. What are you doing?
Calm
Just
down.
back down.
Just settle.
Yeah. It's fine.
Growth, infinite growth.
Yeah, no, they get that same mindset as insane as executives. Yeah.
Like a lot of these people are just hollow. Like you hear, there's interviews with Mr. Beast where he's just like, my wife gets mad at me because I take her on dates to places to scope them out for doing videos. I actually don't make very much money because I push it all into the videos. I'm like, it's just a number, man.
I don't believe him on that, just to be clear. I think in his opinions, he doesn't make a lot of money.
I don't know. He had a lot of stupid tie-ins, and those fucking Mr. Beast bars did not move. I think it might be a situation like what happened with Prime, where or who's the dipshit? Logan Paul, or is it Jake Paul? Which dipshit?
I think it's Logan.
I
think it's Logan, but again, it could
or
be
Logan,
either. It's a Paul.
Logan Paul went to Coke, who manufactured Prime, and is like, yeah, we need to cancel like 80% of our orders, and they go, that ain't how contracts work, bro.
It was actually,
and that is why Prime has been in the bargain bin at every grocery store you've been to for a year.
Yeah. The reason why they drastically overestimated demand, overproduced, and it wasn't even Coke. He literally went to the bottle manufacturers, where he got them to put up new lines to produce more bottles because he was that confident. And then he's like, yeah, we're going to need to cancel most of our order. And they're like, no, you're getting sued because you signed this shit here. Even just getting it back to the content level. Like, I think one of the more middle of the road, not sociopath here sort of evolutions that I can talk about is like binging with Babish, right? Originally cooking a thing from a TV show, he's doing it, it's him.
Right.
Then he outsources it. It's like, oh, well, we have the anime guy. The anime guy, different studio, he's doing it too, but it's made in the same sort of style. That's fine. Then it became, I have to do the thing every food YouTuber's doing where we no longer make recipes. I'm just eating a shitload of fuck and ranking it. So I had every Campbell soup. I ate everything at a Costco, or what is Buc-ee's?
Buc-ee's, yeah.
Somehow he just slid down that. And that's so weird because he did that at the same time as that other dude I cannot remember the name of who used to do recipes and shit.
Weissman.
Yeah, Joshua
Weissman.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Joshua Weissman, same thing, like, same time. Boom.
It's so surreal to see, like, they somehow identify the algorithm change and just completely change what they are doing.
Somebody,
or they do one like as just to do a. I find the Babish one somewhat useful though, because it's usually shit from grocery stores. And it's like, yes, I actually would like to know which box brownie is the best.
He's trying to psyop my ass into eating Buc-ee's again. Buc-ee's is not close. Buc-ee's, that's basically an hour-long round trip.
Mm-hmm.
I fell for the Buc-ee's meme when I saw him break out the quarter-pound Reese's.
Uh-huh. Yeah. No, I want that.
Like, it's not, it's the Buc-ee's logo as a Reese's, but it's a quarter pound.
Yeah, that shit's
damn
barely smaller than this Mac Mini in my hand. That's how fucking big that was, chat. But yeah, no, Buc-ee's food is good. And there's a shitload of interesting variety in the Buc-ee's. But now that just lives in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a problem. But yeah, no, it's just weird seeing how the YouTube algorithm and all this shit just makes people do a thing that isn't their core thing to such an extreme extent.
And there's everybody's trying to divine the fucking knuckle bones. So you get shit like, here's 4 hours of my content to fall asleep to, but none of those ever did well.
No, those did do well, but it turned off entirely in February of this year. Like,
really?
Yes, I've seen multiple people corroborate this. In February, YouTube did something with the algorithm, and it served it to no one ever again. It's so fucking insane. Yeah, My Life in Gaming's one of them. Joe from GameSack's another one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Those are just two right there. For some fucking reason, they literally just changed something in the algorithm to fuck that over entirely.
I've noticed this really weird thing where I'll go back to check like a YouTube channel from like a video that I liked a decade ago. And I don't know if like they must have gotten hacked because they didn't have any subscribers, so there's nothing to sell. But I look at it, you go to it and it's like the 5 spookiest places in British railways, AI voice over still images for 15 minutes.
That's so much YouTube now.
The only one of those that seems to have, there's two. There's like a food one that seems to have caught on relatively, and there's a Warhammer 40K one that is clearly just reading the Warhammer wiki in an AI voice over still images. That does pretty good, which is like disgusting to me.
Yeah, when I think about our great journey with YouTube, our grand journey, I don't want you to take the wrong meaning of the word great.
Yeah, it's been great.
Because we've been there since the beginning of YouTube, right? It would sicken me to know 19 years ago, 18 years ago, that where YouTube ends up is all of these people going insane, making the most big scale base content possible, while fake trailers for movies made by AI are blowing up insanely. To know that that was the end game of YouTube would so deeply blackpill me as a child. This beautiful medium for people to connect and do stuff. And we've turned every channel into, I am going to consume all of a thing and then yell disparate statements that, if you're lucky, are mildly cohesive by the end of this one video. It's just depressing. Anyways, I like Twitch a lot more. Twitch is
It turns out it's a lot harder to make something AI that's on Twitch.
Yeah, but half of these people, that's not even.
I know, that's
right.
True.
Like that's not their problem. They made just their shit different in order to pander to the largest audience.
Mm-hmm. They just made all this content because that was what was successful.
Just wait until the AI stream assistant gets real popular.
He's gonna be the stream assistant slur, and I'm gonna be like, please stop doing that while I'm live.
Will they launch that?
That is not your place as a computer. Those are our words.
And then me and everyone else high five.
When is it launching? Did that bullshit launch yet?
Yeah,
that bullshit's so concept. I don't think it's ever launching anywhere. Out. Yeah. But yeah,
I'm just imagining if it ever does, it's just the pitch meeting guy.
It seems like it might actually be out, and you just need some unbelievably expensive subscription to Streamlabs to do it.
How much do you think the pitch meetings guy would cost to get to be on our stream and pretend to be an AI?
Absurd amounts, because that guy's actually very popular on YouTube.
1 second. I think he might fully understand the bit and be all in for it. Chat here says you're a cuck. Please stop reading chat to me like that. Absolutely insane. But yeah, I'm trying to think of what would be the Twitch streaming equivalent of this thing we've seen happen with these food YouTubers.
I have to wonder if we go to the top end of Twitch, people that get like millions of views at once, if we see it, if we just see what that is.
But I would have to go back and see what they were before.
That's true.
That's assuming they were anything else at any point, which is really not the case.
That doesn't seem to happen to streamers usually, like not Twitch. That seems like more a YouTube thing.
Yeah, chat's saying like hot tub stream, React streaming, and I'm like, sure, but like this, to some extent, you playing a video game and giving it commentary is you reacting to a thing already. You making a recipe for food versus you eating every Campbell soup and yelling.
I guess those guys who load up like another streamer's stream, like one of those political streamers who like play a game and talk, but the real thing is them talking heavily about the news, and then screech at that, like maybe those guys like Destiny.
Yeah, if you saw them be a normal person and then just like a light switch, boom.
Is there? I'm trying to think if there's anybody like that who like was normal and then degraded into the screechy crazy guy, like where we could watch it on the internet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, hey Bob.
Hey, what's up?
Did you play anything else?
I did play some games. Demos came out. Lots of demos.
Oh my god, what? Do they not know what week it is? Do they not know?
They wanted to get out ahead of it, I guess. So a lot of these demos were announced at that thing I covered last week. I can't remember the name of. Some sort of indie event. 6ix9ine or something. One of the coolest ones I played this week. Big Hops.
Big Hops.
It's on Kickstarter right now. You play as a little frog guy. He like stands up on 2 legs though, like he's a humanoid frog. Imagine Mario 64 Mario was a frog.
I can do that pretty well. I can imagine if Mario 64 was a frog rather easily this year of all years.
Mm-hmm. And it's the platforming. It's a 3D platformer like a Mario 64, but it has ideas and stuff from like Mario Odyssey and from Breath of the Wild. Weirdly enough, like you have the wall climbing thing, but it's for extremely like your stamina is so limited. You can only do it for like a second. So it's just something that's kind of like an error correcting wall climb almost.
Huh.
And you have you do the duck and rolls and stuff like you do in Odyssey, and you can wall run and you can wall jump, and it's really neat. You play as this little frog. He's like, you live in the forest and then you get coerced into coming to some mystical frog land by a devious creature. And then he's like, I'm not actually taking you to a mystical frog land. I'm taking you to all these different random places. The first place he takes you is a desert. And it seems like I'm very curious how the full structure of the game is going to be, because that really the demo just has like the first forest area and then the desert area, but it feels like, okay, these areas might keep getting bigger and bigger. They also have an interesting mechanic around, you can pick up stuff in the environment and throw it. Like a lot of it's okay, I picked up a bug, and you can look at the bug all over, and the character identifies it, and that goes to your collection, kind of Animal Crossing like. But there's also stuff like, oh, you get the seed, you throw it in a wall, and it grows a vine straight up. So you have to do a lot of different puzzles where it's like, okay, get a couple of these seeds, make vines to go up, and you can climb them. And that sort of thing. You can also get a mushroom, throw it on the ground, and it becomes a bounce pad. And it's surprising how well all of this works. And the reason they're on Kickstarter is apparently they were just dropped by the publisher.
Yep.
When the game was almost done. The game has almost full voice acting. A ton of lines in this demo are voice acting, but there are just a few that aren't. But yeah, it's really cute art style. It's very colorful. You have a tongue, as you see in this clip that Dan's posted. So you can use that to like grab onto stuff, like
a hook shot,
almost, and also stuff where you swing from it like a rope.
That climbing stamina is going down terrifyingly fast.
Yeah, no, it's like literally no, it's not for you. It's not for that. That's actually that's lasting twice as long as it did in demo. So I guess there's some way to upgrade it.
That's funny.
But yeah, I had a ton of fun with just the physics of it. Like actually playing the game feels great, and that's what's important. The game is fun.
If it isn't, why play it?
And that was the main section, was that one. I'm super curious. I'm probably going to back this Kickstarter, even though that's, not the greatest track record. Like, this seems like a surefire, though. Like, the game's almost done. They're really doing the Kickstarter for voice acting.
Bob, chat's wondering, is this a frog-type game?
I don't know. I assume not, because that sounds like some marketing hype thing, and this is like a good game. That's like, it's kind of like Mario Odyssey.
Oh, wow.
I don't think anyone at Bungie can do that. I followed this up by playing 1000 Deaths, which is another 3D platformer, which we talked about last week. You play as a little TV with legs in a weird subconscious, like super weird world. Where it's basically the game starts and there's this mad scientist who looks kind of Tim Burton-esque, but imagine a Tim Burton art style like for the clay puppets and stuff, but turned into a weird like early 80s or early 90s CG.
Yeah, I'm getting a like what if Reboot was Psychonauts kind of vibe.
Yeah, that kind of describes it. But yeah, beginning of the game, that guy's on his deathbed and he's remembering his life. So then I guess he works at a TV store or something like that, and he's obsessed with television. So he's reflecting on his life, and you go back in time and can make choices throughout it. And there's a bunch of subconscious, like, okay, what's this going to lead to? What's this going to lead to? Butterfly effect sort of stuff. Unfortunately, it feels really bad to play. The game isn't fun.
Sure this isn't secretly a Gex game?
That's right. It's like if Gex thought it had an interesting and important story to sell. But it has like Mario Galaxy mechanics where everything's in a floating like 3D world that the physics change based on where you walk around the thing. But it wants to use that to like kill you. Like that's the main point of it, it feels like. It's like, okay, you slightly slipped off the edge here. You will now die. Because the physics don't adjust unless it's a rounded surface. So if you fall off a flat surface, you're not getting back. Every level is just about, okay, get to the door in this little puzzle area I made. And again, it just feels bad to move and control. But it really needs art style. You can probably check it out just for that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I forgot I played this one. This one is called Tonin, like Ronin, but with a T instead of an R.
Are you a toe with a samurai sword?
You are not. You play as a bunny girl, and the game plays like a mix of Metal Gear Rising and Dark Souls.
Okay.
But the game actually plays terribly, and is clearly not fit for a demo yet. It should not have been put out there. But it is really funny to see this super low budget game try and be Metal Gear Rising and have like the cutting mechanic and the parryings that let you do this time stop and then slice dudes up. You fight just robots in this gigantic open world. And the robots look like they're asset store or something. They just look so bad.
Yeah, I'm looking at like a knockoff action figure of a Liger Zero looking thing.
Mm-hmm. That's the better looking one. Yeah, it's also on Kickstarter. I can't believe how much money it's already earned on there. I don't know if the demo's been out since it's been on Kickstarter, though. I think putting the demo out might have been a mistake.
I think you're underestimating the power of a half-naked bunny girl ninja.
That's true. The half-naked bunny girl ninja is important. And I went to the Kickstarter, it's like trying to sell you on, there's going to be this dynamic between her and this little brother-like character, and you're going to love it. It's going to be so good. Like, okay, man, sure. There's also a grapple.
Maybe.
There's also a grapple hook, which you could like grab anything in the environment, and also enemies. And when you grab an enemy, you like do a spin dash towards them and attack them, which is pretty neat. But again, this game feels terrible to play. But if you want to check out the bunny girl ninja, maybe this is for you. Even if it's in like an asset store quality stage where it's just a gigantic endless field with trees. And then the Dark Souls spawn points are a literal house. Like, you know, the old Japanese style house where it has the hearth in the middle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the hearth in the middle of each of those is your bonfire.
Is there like a pot hanging from nothing above it?
I don't even remember. I don't think they even rendered a pot.
People are asking, what was the name of this game again, Bob?
Tonin.
Spell it.
It's like Ronin. So
Okay.
Tonin.
Tonin.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah, that wasn't very good.
I don't like leaving the room during a demo sequence and coming back to, and it's like Dark Souls. I don't like that at all. I'm tired.
Yeah.
What if it's like Dark Souls, though?
It's also like Metal Gear Rising.
Bob describing it like that isn't the problem.
Look, there's a giant robot spider. It's just like Dark Souls.
It's just like Wild Wild West.
It's just like Armored Core, which, as we found out, is Dark Souls.
That is true. It is like Dark Souls.
I also tried out Metal Eden. This actually was a demo on my PlayStation 5.
What?
Very high quality console.
They have those up there?
They have them.
What's the name
this
one
thing.
more time?
Metal Eden.
Okay.
It is a roguelike FPS that has like Doom 2016 inspirations.
Okay.
it's also maybe the most egregious use of TAA and screens and ray trace reflections maybe I've ever seen.
Really?
The whole game, it just looks like goo.
How advanced?
I don't know, Bob. I'm looking at these screenshots and I don't see any of that.
I bet you don't. But yeah, every single surface is reflective. Tell me what you think might go wrong.
Nothing.
All
Nothing
right.
will go wrong, actually.
I mean, it's just a still image, right? It doesn't have to move. Like doesn't have to be rendered. That seems like it would be difficult with every single surface being reflective.
But yeah, the art style is really neat. Unfortunately, every single surface is reflective. You play as this like robot lady in an endless cycle of death in reverse.
Oh my
Because always, the first thing you do is find a dead one of you and like, oh man, it's so gruesome. It's so bad. Can you believe this? It's like, yeah, great.
You know what? No more. None of this. You don't get to do it unless your main character is John Benjamin and you've written him appropriately. Wow, that must really suck. God, I don't want to go like that again.
There's a lot I'm willing to put up with for a lady in a Night Saber's power suit, but roguelike and TAA to shit is over that limit.
Yeah, it is. It is. Her power suit is very Battleground Crisis, but for some reason has a visor that's open. Like you just see her face to like glass in front. The mechanics are kind of neat though. You have the basic like machine gun pistol, a stronger pistol. It has a different shot type you can buy, kind of like in Doom Eternal in Doom 2016, where there's two types of shots you can go for with it. So I chose the pistol that charges up the shot and can shoot like a super one, and I think another one like locks on, so you don't need to aim. And then one of the core mechanics is ripping cores out of enemies. So you have a cooldown where if the enemy is near you, you can just tear their heart out, basically. And you can either eat that heart and then do a super punch, or you can just throw it at another dude and it blows up like as a bomb.
Cool.
And that's really neat. It has stuff around the enemies having armor that it's like, oh, if you use your super punch, it'll destroy the armor. Or I'm trying to think if there's anything other depths to it. I guess kind of not in the demo. So I'm like, well, this is neat, but it's kind of like there's one solution to these guys. So I don't know if you're going to expand this out farther or not. But it seems like it has the basic workings of an interesting idea. Because eating the core also heals you, and throwing it, of course, does damage. I feel like the throwing the core probably will do more and more damage as you progress through the game. Because it currently, when you started it out, it's kind of weak. But that game's neat. I wonder if the best PC in the world can make it look okay. Maybe.
No. Oh, no, wait. That's me. Uh-oh.
I remember I tried to load this demo up on my PC like several weeks ago before they had a PlayStation version, or at least before I knew about PlayStation version of it. And it was unplayable. Like it was running at 10 frames a second, looked terrible.
We forgot to mention it earlier. We actually booted Blades of Fire on a normal PS5 after the stream.
We did.
Surprisingly, not that much ghosting. It is a much softer look, but it doesn't ghost to hell like you would expect. So how come Mercury Steam can get it, but no one?
I don't know.
It's almost like the thing they're best at is making an engine with high-end graphics.
And this was just
weird.
This was obviously just made on UE5, so it's just that every UE5 feature is turned on. So.
Actually, wait, that's a good point. I don't have the best gaming PC in the world. I don't have a 5090. But then again, given everything with the 5000 series, I'm not sure that you could uncritically say, the uncritically saying is the only way to say it, that's the best PC in the world, because, oh my God.
Right.
I can play Borderlands 2 at high frame rates with goo.
Ooh.
I can play Mirror's Edge with glass. I'm not sure I covered it on Big Think. I feel like I did. Did you hear the physics solution?
No.
They basically open sourced it, which was basically strategically them going, "You fix it."
Cool. That's great.
Yeah.
I also started.
Just get out of the fucking consumer market. Just get out of the consumer market, NVIDIA. You clearly don't want to be here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just leave so somebody else can come in who isn't dog shit.
That's kind of what Gamers Nexus said. It's like, you don't need to fuck everything up on your way out. You could just leave.
It's like, if they leave and then the AI market and other things collapse, they're just dead. It's like, that's happening anyway. Like, they're so invested in that angle that it's like they won't survive it.
Nah, they'll just cut it off and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, what else did you play?
I played the Splitgate 2 beta, which is basically the game's out. Like, they call it a beta, but you can buy stuff for it already, and the game won't go offline between now and the game's full launch, they've said.
Mm-hmm.
So always take that with a grain of salt. They said, this is what they said. Mm-hmm. It's possible something else happens. Because I don't think the game is doing super great. I think it's doing okay. But for people who don't remember, Splitgate and Splitgate 2 are kind of like Halo, but with a portal gun. And that's basically the whole pitch for the game. I don't remember this in Splitgate 1, but there's only certain walls you can shoot with the portal gun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that limits what you can do with it a decent bit.
Why?
I don't know.
Why did they do that?
I'm not sure. That seems really weird, and maybe that was even there in the first game. I just don't remember.
Maybe they really love Red Faction 2. They're like, what if the destruction only worked on very specific things?
I do, like, if it was in fact not in the first game, I bet that it is them being like, we have to make the most balanced video game ever. Because this game does reek of that a little bit of like, oh, we made the whole thing very esports centric. We even made it a sort of it's a futuristic sporting event, which I don't know. I feel like every time you do that, instead of like having some sort of real universe and instead just fall back on it's a game like Destruction All-Stars, it has to kind of just a stink to it.
Yep.
I'm like, just make a lore and make it interesting. It doesn't matter that you're shooting each other. It's like, don't think about it.
Nope.
And yeah, every time you do something like that, it kind of just makes it worse. Like Fortnite doesn't do that. It's like, that's the biggest game in the world. You don't need to pretend you're a sport.
No, we have to for some reason. I'm sorry.
But otherwise, this game's pretty neat. Again, it plays a lot like Halo. You get to imagine Halo Reach, where you get to choose a basic loadout. Like, oh yeah, you have the idea of like bringing an assault rifle or bringing the recon rifle instead. But then there's still weapon spawns in the level. Like there'll be the rocket launcher out there. It plays just like the Halo rocket launcher, where it just kills dudes. You'll have the super sniper rifle that can spawn. And all sorts of stuff like that. The jumps feel very Halo-esque, but they did add more movement options. You can now like do a slide and that'll build speed going down hills, kind of like in Titanfall. In Apex Legends. And you have a sprint button. Weirdly, the game starts to auto sprint on, which just feels wrong. Like if you move forward, you'll automatically start the sprint animation. Like,
do you get locked into that in weird ways? Does it feel like a Call of Duty sprint?
It's a little less than that, but it still is there. Like you still feel like, okay, it takes a second to get out of this animation, so I don't want to always be doing it. But who knows? Maybe it's just maybe there technically isn't. It just feels that way from the way the animation looks. So they like, we can do this and people won't care, but I care. It also has, weirdly, right now the only queues it has for playing multiplayer are arena and something like big battle mode, which I wasn't able to get a big battle mode match to work even once. In arena mode had it was switched between doing a capture the flag like mode and a just team deathmatch mode. And I kind of was like, I just want to pick one because I don't really want to play capture the flag until I understand the mechanics of the shooting. But it kept being like every other game will be a capture the flag game. And their capture the flag is kind of confusing because they're balls instead of flags. And it seems like when the enemy steals the balls from your base, if you kill them, you can grab that same ball and bring it to their base or something. It was really weird, and it's like I couldn't figure out exactly what was going on with the way it was working. So I think I need to play it more to figure out their idea and concept there, because it would even have an announcer being like, ball spawned in. I'm like,
I'm sorry. I thought you started to say balls, balls, balls. I'm like, what the fuck? I need this now.
The announcer sounds like a weird mix of Halo guy and Richard Epcar.
Is he AI?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Not keeping up with the competition then.
Yeah, it's not like the finals.
Yeah.
But yeah, the game seems really neat, and I hope that it does well because I like the way it plays, and I think it's neat to be able to just play Halo on the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
But it definitely needs more game modes, and yeah.
It's going to be really great when Microsoft tries to sell us each Halo game for like $30 on PS5.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
That'll be fucking insane.
And they'll all be 30 FPS and run bad because they're going to be Unreal Engine 5.
And they won't let you play online.
Of course, they gotta support. Are they even still making content for Halo Infinite, or like we fucking gave up?
They've been done with that for a while.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, just look at it.
Called Halo Infinite dies.
Fuck you, Microsoft.
If it's called Halo Infinite.
Do. No, finish it. Then why is it?
I'm not going to finish it. They didn't.
Yeah, and the only other thing I played this week was Devil May Cry 3 Crimson, that big mod that people were talking about.
Yes.
Which I thought I was fully ready to play this. I was like, okay, I installed Devil May Cry 3 PC on my computer. I got the mod. Let's go. It wants Devil May Cry 3 HD collect, or it wants Devil May Cry HD collection. Oh. I need to go buy that. Luckily, it was on sale for like $8 on one of those sites, like Humble Bundle or something. So
Yeah, I always check, is there any deal? Because there's usually one somewhere.
Right. So luckily, I was able to get that. It's frustrating they made it for this version because that means I have to boot up and go through like the menus for, which game do you want to play, to then boot into this, which there might be a workaround. I didn't look for that yet. Maybe someone's changed that. But the way this mod works is really weird. It adds a lot of cool features. It has stuff like letting you play, switch on the fly between two characters. So I can play both Dante and Virgil at once. And that's really cool. They reworked the way the jump canceling works, so it's really easy. Maybe too easy, but it's interesting to do. It's like makes the game feel very different. Same with the way you can jump or get out of different moves. And they've added extra moves, like you can do an air singer now. Yeah, it's really weird. It also adds a brand new camera and all sorts of stuff. And you can bring up a menu at any time to change different settings and how things work. Weirdly, they switched out all of the menus for like buying upgrades. So now you go to the customization screen, Devil May Cry 3, and it pops up a menu for this mod where you can buy the upgrades. And it all looks terrible. It's like, I get that why you did this, but it definitely makes the game feel less normal and more janky. I found it really funny that the way they reworked jump canceling, you can now just bounce up and down on top of dudes, shotgunning them infinitely. It feels like Devil May Cry 1 levels of shotgun canceling. Like, it's ludicrous. And they also added things like making the drive move, which is the one where Dante like slashes his sword around the ground to cause a shockwave, which is basically useless in the original game. It was so slow to come out. It took forever to charge to do it. In this game, they changed it so it's like back forward attack, and you can do it after a regular attack, and it comes out super fast. So that's very neat. I think they made a very strange and interesting creature here. It's by no means like, oh yeah, play this instead of Devil May Cry 3. I would never recommend you do that, because all these things are things that are for people who are just like, oh yeah, I've played the heck out of Devil May Cry 3 already. Like, I would never want this to be the first way I experience it. The camera is neat, but also I hate it. I died many times because it's like, yeah, no, I'm used to the camera in Devil May Cry 3 having a panned out shot so I can see what's happening in Devil May Cry 3. Mm-hmm. And this is like, yeah, it's right behind you.
I have a quick question for the entire panel here. What is a mod or hack of a game you love that you do recommend over the original?
I assume basically anything Bethesda makes.
Yeah.
I mean, we probably should like disregard community stability patches. Like that's the specific thing that comes to mind for Bethesda games.
Mm-hmm.
God, now I'm trying to remember the mods I used on World of Warcraft.
This will be relevant for when I talk about what I've been playing.
Okay.
So there's a ROM hack for Mega Man X5 that fixes it.
Oh,
Yep. There sure is that.
that's lies though. You can't let anyone think that Capcom made a good game called Mega Man X5.
Yeah, that's kind of always how I feel. Like even if the original was dog shit, it's like,
But that's the original.
It I know, but it's so hard. Yeah, it's like so hard. Like you would never recommend somebody watch a fan edit of a movie instead of, no matter how, widely praised it is. So I feel like you should get the patch for Breath of Fire 2 that changes the experience rates.
For me, I think it's the Star Tropics 2. We removed the horrible "you're dying" beep sound from ruining this entire video game. That's the most universally. Yeah, please get that one. Jesus Christ. Aside from that, it's actually a little bit of a struggle for me to think of anything because, by and large, I think there's more value in playing the original.
Mm-hmm. You can also change out the model of your main character in this, so you can you can play as Lady, but it doesn't change any of the voice clips. It's all just Lady with Dante's animation.
Breakdown.
Yes.
5 today.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not. This almost doesn't count, but any patch that unfucks up a game that working design's fucked up.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, of course.
Yep.
Also, Legend of Legaia, because they did that in the that was Sony, and they did that in the American version for some reason.
Yeah, why the fuck did they do that? Kid me may have beaten that game.
There's also a really weird thing where it's like, okay, you can play as Dante, Virgil, Lady, and Bob. It was like, why
Who's Bob?
Who's Bob?
He's that guy. He's right over there. It's him. You can play as Bob.
It's Dante's moveset and Virgil's model.
That's strange.
Huh.
There's like a
so
color
stupid.
difference on Virgil, or
No, I think they mess up Virgil's hair. Like they give him Dante's hair.
Why did they just go
That's
violent
bizarre.
Virgil and just go full in on Capcom's stupid names for characters?
that reminds me of
El Armando.
there is one fight in the Street Fighter V story mode where you are fighting a security guard.
Mm-hmm.
And they hacked him to be playable. So there's shit like, here's his baton swing. It's negative 27 frames on hit.
That's awesome.
This obviously, with all these weird features they've added, has caused many glitches. I've switched characters and been spawned outside the map.
Okay.
I've had the camera get stuck in walls many times. Yeah. Luckily, there is a debug mode included with this. So when that happened after I killed the scorpion boss or the centipede boss, I was able to just be like, okay, debug me into the last room.
Oh, that's helpful.
Yeah. And then it was like, use debug mode. You don't get any style points. I'm like, what?
Oh,
That's really funny. I have a couple more I just remembered.
Okay.
The Mega Man Legends 2 patch that puts the PSP shit into the PlayStation version.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
It's funny how many of these other versions fixed it.
Right.
Put that in the original.
And another patch of the same sort. If you're gonna play Dragon Quest IV on Nintendo DS, get the patch that puts back in the half the game they cut out, the half the text of the game they removed.
What the fuck?
Because it had party chat.
Oh, right.
And they didn't want to translate all that fucking text, so they just removed it.
Wow,
Jesus.
insane. That's fucking insane.
But that is all I have to say about Devil May Cry 3 Crimson.
Is that all the games you played?
That's all the games I played.
Dr. Aggro,
Yes,
what have you been doing?
a whole bunch of stupid bullshit
Same.
that left me hardly any time to play video games.
Oh no.
Yeah, I got like 4 or 5 hours of Trails of Cold Steel 3 in.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
Okay.
I had one thing to say about that game
Okay.
as I continue through it. You know, I've played a lot of hours of these games. I've been hanging out with Reen Schwarzer a long time. We've been through a lot. I've come to really like the guy. But also, as these games progress, I'm starting to hate this son of a bitch. This lucky asshole.
Have you gotten to the part where he has like 8 different his 8 different Misatos who tried to groom him when he was a teenager? Be like, yeah, sorry.
They haven't apologized yet. No. Like, I think I remember Chris mentioning this a while back, where 3 is where they, because in 1 and 2, you know, you've got all these various romance options that only exist in the scenes they're in. They are locked away, so they can't, like the waveform can't interfere with the other timelines.
And you could carry over the saves from 1 to 2.
In
Could
3,
not do that between 2 to 3.
So in 3, they solve the problem by, you know what? They're all canon. Everyone wants to fuck Reen Schwarzer.
Yes, like they were obviously trying to be like, we'll give everybody a little bit so it doesn't feel like we're negating anybody's choice. But it really just makes those games come off like Reen fucked everybody he's ever met.
Yeah. Class 7 is the world's mightiest special ops polycule.
And they kind of go even further with it in Trails Through Daybreak because Fee shows up in that. And they kind of have this tone where like everybody's like, yeah, you and your friends are this weird group of romance obsessed perverts. Like everybody else is normal.
But yeah, that's all I've been playing.
Hey, Chris.
I played Mega Man X5. It was the first time I had ever played Mega Man X5.
Ooh.
I did not. I had heard, like, I watched the Ego Raptor video.
There's an Ego Raptor video?
I didn't know.
I didn't even know that.
No, his Mega Man video is partially about this game specifically. Because like he goes on that tangent about the voice popping up and warning you about something.
Oh yeah.
And that happened. I didn't think that would happen in this game twice in every single level.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Every single time they introduce a mechanic, Aelia calls you to tell you about it. And it's like, these are just platforms that fall when you step on them. Every video game with a jump has these platforms in it. You don't need to stop and explain it to me.
People defend this game all the time.
People got a little bit indignant because when we fired the cannon, it just worked.
Yes.
Oh,
that always feels good.
Aggro, there is an RNG the cannon will work and will shoot the thing and solve problems. It is actual RNG.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's really okay. So what basically happens is Sigma sets up a colony drop. So you're like, okay, we have 2 options. We can rebuild the Enigma cannon in the Maverick Hunter base and blow it out of the sky, or we can send a shuttle up with explosives to blow it up. But that one will almost certainly kill whoever we send. So we're going to try the cannon first. So you have to do and 4 of the bosses have parts for the cannon and 4 of the bosses have parts for the shuttle. And you can fire the cannon whenever the fuck you want. But each part increases the likelihood of it working. But it caps out at like 20.
Yeah, it sucks.
And then you have to do the parts. and then you'd have to do the shuttle, which can also fail and put you and take away 0 for the last chunk of the game. So if you wanted to do a 0 run, that's now impossible because he's gone.
This is weirdly similar to the teleporter to Mars philosophical question.
So that patch I mentioned, by the way, dramatically increases the chance of the cannon working, and if you have all the shuttle parts, the shuttle just works.
Yeah, that's how shuttles work.
But yeah, the cannon worked for me. People got upset. It was very funny. Why did this game take Capcom 3 years to make? Like, it looks amateurish. Like,
it's almost like it wasn't Capcom making it at all.
It's almost like it wasn't Capcom making it or X6 at all.
Fucking Indie Creates made this game. I don't give a shit what anybody says.
Yeah, I know.
Like, you look at that bear, the bear Maverick. Mm-hmm. That looks like somebody from Mega Man Zero. So does Duff McWhalen's pattern. I played the PlayStation version, so I have the fucking Guns N' Roses names.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. Those are the names.
Mm-hmm.
Like Duff McWhalen's attack pattern, where he shoots these ice platforms at you and tries to push you into the wall of spikes, is a Mega Man Zero boss.
Yeah, no,
there are bosses in Mega Man Zero that do exactly that.
This shit is so obviously Inti Creates. I don't care if it's just somehow a consortium of individuals responsible for Inti Creates later who are working on this now. This is so obviously them. It is the same soul. They are not the same as Minakuchi Engineering. Mm-hmm. These are two different. We were handed Mega Man and got fucking perverted.
I feel like there's some shared genetics between those two.
I think there are some differences that are important to identify. Minakuchi has a very specific tang to it. It's so fucked up though.
But yeah, the levels aren't very good. You can kind of just the mechanic where the later you are in the game, the more health the boss has, which reaches the peak insanity during the boss rush, where it's like, you have welcome to 28 hit Maverick. You have the weakness and it's 28 hit.
That game is fucking dog shit. What a fucking
I don't know why they thought that was a good idea.
Everything you described is a bad idea. Like, these different things based on chance. Alia calling you every 2 minutes.
It's neat that X can start with the X4 armor, but that makes it so I kind of don't even need to go get the other armors, because the X4 armor has pretty much everything you'd want. Doesn't it have a bad buster? I can't remember. I thought it did. Didn't seem fine when I did it. Like, okay. I beat a lot of shit with that buster.
I'm trying to remember in what way it's nerfed compared to.
It's nerfed because it's the plasma shot from X4, so it is nerfed. But it is not bad. Like, it is not below par. It's just not broken like the Plasma Buster is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, you can get the other armors, but you really only need them to get the ultimate armor at the end, which lets you Nova Strike through everything and not have to care. And they made it so you need the you don't get parts one at a time anymore. You have to get all 4 parts before you can wear the armor. God, and you need the Falcon armor. You need the Falcon armor to get the Gaia armor. And you can switch between X and Zero at any time in this game, but you don't want to because only one gets the health upgrades.
Such many bad ideas. Fucking bad game.
Yeah. These are all things that patch I mentioned earlier fixes, by the way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Stop fucking doing Quickman lasers. What the fuck's wrong with you? Just knock it off.
No, it was very cool when it happened in 1988, and everyone loved it, and nothing else.
At least when they do it in network transmission, it's a different layout, and you can use abilities to just make it not matter.
Yeah. I
mean, this is the same fucking layout as the Quickman stage. Like, I fucking know, assholes.
I see someone in chat. That was an intentional callback. Yeah, if I hit your car with my car a second time, and I get out of my car and I go, that was an intentional callback. What do you fucking think that means?
Yeah, I know it was an intentional callback. They still shouldn't have done it.
It was
we reused a level layout. That's an intentional callback. Okay, why? Like, what makes the context of that be something you should do.
You really can't sit there and be like, well, there's a virtuosity to this. There's a specific element of this that is, in fact, in and of itself virtuous to do the throwback. When this is the game that just goes, Duff McQuillan, you have Bubble Crabs theme, because fuck you, I'm tired.
Isn't this the game where one of the stages is just fighting a wheel over and over again?
That's X6.
There's a lot of there's a lot of stages where it's like we have one gimmick for the whole level. Like Duff McWhalen stages. This submarine's chasing you for the whole level.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's slow as hell.
That patch even fixes the music, because I think they changed it between America and Japan. Like in Japan, they have all the bosses have unique themes. Just some bizarre change. This game also has no fucking voice acting, which it does in Japan. They just didn't give a shit for America at all. It doesn't even, they even removed the boss call outs when you select them, which were in X4. It's like, why remove those?
I don't know. This game fucking sucks. I don't fucking understand why people defend this.
Yeah, this really, like, I get people not wanting to just go, X4 was the last good one. Because this one isn't as bad as 6, or assuredly not as bad as 7. But it's still not very good. Like, it's definitely below 3 even.
I am starting to think I might take the trade for X6, because X6's music is much better, and Alia doesn't do the calling you every 10 seconds thing.
I'll have to see, because on Saturday, I'm playing Mega Man X6.
Wow.
Ooh. Sorry.
Is this when we plug our thing?
A game that I have heard is barely a video game. The only people I've ever met who have a nice thing to say about X6 speedrun it and then end every sentence with, but it sucks though.
It does. It does suck.
They're that Marine in the comic that's saying, I like the way this sucks, when they're like waist deep in water holding the rifle in the rain.
Tomorrow, because it is perfectly in between the two events, we're in a quantum state. Is it Bob's birthday or my birthday? I don't know. It's in between. So you get to decide for the GigaBoots Happy Birthday Flop Swap stream, where either Bob's playing his favorite game or I'm playing my favorite game. And you get to decide to turn off my birthday and turn his back on. And the other one just gets to sit there and be sad as they don't get to play their favorite game. And they're like, I wish it was my birthday.
So it's the DMC3 versus Super Mario 64 flop swap?
You don't know that? Okay, sir? It could be any video game. The important thing is that it's our favorite, which could be anything.
It could just be a game we like a whole lot, even if it's not our absolute favorite.
Yeah. But maybe half of what you said may be true. Maybe. You'll have to show up to find out on the GigaBoots Happy Birthday Flop Swap. We also have birthday hats that we have to hand back and forth and say happy birthday to each other.
That's really funny.
Anyways.
I'm trying to think. The Shadow Devil sucks in X5. He's terrible. Thank God there's a way to just not have to give a shit about him.
Now, I actually have stuck in my head the weird devil they did in the Wonder Swan. Let me look at this real quick. I think it was Wonder Swan.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the Shadow Devil.
I'm so scared.
Well, he's dark, and you have very little room to maneuver, and he doesn't have that strict a pattern, so it's hard to react to what the shit he does. Also, you don't have a slide, unlike sometimes. Luckily, you can stand up in the corner and repeatedly wall jump. I'm talking like repetitive stress injury levels of wall jump, and he will not hit you.
He looks like he hangs out with Reggie's.
I was going to say, which Reggie is this?
And then when he turns into goo so he can reform, you can jump and dash over him and then shoot him once. And then he takes way too fucking long, because every boss in X5 takes too long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dog shit video game.
Man.
Like, we've reached... Sigma shouldn't have been the villain of every X game.
It would have been
He
more
really
interesting if he wasn't.
Yeah.
He really just starts to be a joke even by this game.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
No. X4 was definitely that should have capped off the Sigma story at least for a while. But X5 was
Also,
a terrible game with
Man, I'm like, obviously I would like Mega Man to come back. I would love for X to come back. Yeah, he turns into the Wily machine at the end for some fucking reason. Oh, because Sigma implies that Wily is somehow still alive and made him his new body. Which they shouldn't have done and sucks, and I'm glad that they did something. They didn't never went that way. Like, Wily should be... It's weird to make Wily the villain of your, like, serious, Cass Hearn-esque post-apocalyptic robot story. Like, in Mega Man, it's just fucking Astro Boy. Or Mighty Atom, as they say. So like, he's goofy villain comedy man. Making him the villain of Cass Hearn just seems forced. So I'm glad they never actually paid that off. But yeah, X5, not very good. I played one other thing. I played a lot of it. And that is Fantasy Life I, the Girl Who Leapt Through Time.
Ooh, I love that movie.
This is a game that specifically would murder Dan.
Yep. Scary
because
shit.
it's called Fantasy Life because there are 12 different lives you can choose and swap between at will. 5 combat ones. I think a number of gatherer ones. I think 4 gatherer ones, and then like 4 or 5 creative ones. It might be more. It might be 14. I forget. But you have crafting, gathering, and combat. They all have separate levels, and they all have their own equipment, which you can improve. And they all have skill trees that you can spend skill points on to improve. And they all feed into each other. And you have gathering boss fights. Because you will find a gigantic, ominous-looking mineral node. And gathering points like trees, fish, or not gardening. I don't think that one uses the same mechanics. From what I remember, it's been a little bit. It's been like 2 days, so I forgot already. They have health, and you have a stamina bar. And they start to regain health if you wait too long before hitting them. So you have to have enough stamina to actually break them to get the stuff. So it's a combination of you have to raise your stamina by leveling up and buying nodes on the skill tree. You have to do more damage by improving whatever tool you use. So everything feeds into everything else. You can tell this game might have had some troubles in development and been in development a very long time because there's an entire continent you do not have to go to.
What?
Because the main story takes place in this. It takes place in the present, which is your Dondoko Island / Animal Crossing type base where you can put buildings and your villagers hang out. Then the depths, which is like the area you're trying to progress through to beat the game, and you keep running into roadblocks that force you to go do something else. And then you go to the past, which has all these different islands, which have different shit on them, and like story happens on them. And just you can also go to a mystery continent in another dimension called Ginormia.
Is it much fun?
Is it?
And at least so far in the game, which I feel like I'm at least halfway through. You haven't had to go there at all. And it's just a big, like, Breath of the Wild open world. It has Breath of the Wild towers. It has Genshin Impact, like, world level mechanics where you go to the tower and, like, raise the world level of this region so it'll have better resources. And higher level enemies will spawn.
Weird.
And there's like the Hyrule Castle in the center of it, surrounded by a big force field. And so far, I've run around and explored shit because you get stuff from doing it like that. Like that's helpful. You can get some materials earlier than you would in the story by running around in there and exploring. But I haven't had to go there at all. So it really feels like we made this for a version of the game we pivoted from but we're putting it in here anyway because we already made it. What the hell else are we gonna do?
Yeah, that literally feels like it'd be a free to play version of this.
It even has shrines, like explicitly Breath of the Wild style shrines.
What?
Where you either solve a really simple puzzle, do a combat room, do a gathering room. I think those are actually the only three. To rescue what is called a strangeling. These are, my understanding, characters from Fantasy Life 1 or the mobile game who have been cursed into being an inanimate object.
Oh,
but
that's what those are.
But they have like Banjo-Kazooie style googly eyes and stuff, but they're anime.
Yeah, I saw you post like a dresser. It was really disturbing.
Yes, that is the first one you find, and you take them back to your base, and you can gather a resource, special flowers, so the goddess statue in your base can restore them to their original form, and then they can become your party members.
Huh.
And they will support you like the combat, like they'll all support you in combat to an extent. But the gathering ones will support you when you're doing gathering. Like they will get in there and start hitting the boss mineral with you. So they're really helpful because they can keep it from regenerating health and add a little bit more DPS. And the crafting ones will give you a higher crafting level. Like that theirs will be added atop yours, which is really helpful because the way crafting works is every form of crafting works the exact same way. You have 3 stations. A thing pops up at the top saying this is the order for this set, and you do that, and then you move on to the next one. You get like so many depending on the item you're doing, and depending on your crafting level, the bar will fill towards complete a certain amount. So like you get 10, and like you're pretty well leveled, so you get 15% for each completion. So you only need to complete it 7 times. And the higher your crafting level goes, like the further you get on each successful completion of the mini game. This is important because if your level's too low, you can't actually craft it. Like you can't get to 100%, so you fail.
Mm-hmm.
And the faster you do it, like in the fewer rounds you do this in, the better the item is. If you're making like a weapon or a tool or something, the better the furniture is. If you're making furniture, and if you're making it, like if you're converting logs into lumber or ore into metal bars, you get more.
How is the furniture better?
It has a crown next to it, and I think it sells for more.
Okay. It's deskier. Get off my back.
Enemies don't drop money. The way you make money is by crafting shit and selling it.
Okay, cool. I like that.
And you need money to upgrade your house, and also, in a lot of cases, to start buying resources to craft with, because they do show up in stores eventually at merchants. And you don't want to be going back to the starter areas to collect oak logs. That's stupid. Just buy 1,000,000 oak logs from the merchant once you have the cash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you'd still want to turn those oak logs into lumber yourself because you would get more.
Okay.
It all flows together to make an incredible wave of brain spiders. I think it takes a little bit too long to get going. Like it has kind of a long intro. Before it like opens up at all and lets you actually start doing shit, like hardcore doing shit. But it's a lot of fun. I'm glad that it's doing really well so level 5 can live.
I like it when a good game does well. That's a cool feeling. I hear it's double Doom the Dark Ages peak players on Steam.
Yeah, it peaked really high on Steam. It peaked like 70,000 concurrent players.
Wow.
Like, that's a shitload.
Yeah, it's not the insanity that is Night Rain, but still.
And also, $60. They didn't fuck up and charge $70 for their obviously middle tier. This game looks really fucking nice, by the way. Because it's really crisp and clean and high res. But they didn't fuck up and charge $70 for their obviously mid-tier Japanese like anime game, Atelier Yumiya.
Yeah, Rune Factory.
Yeah, those games.
At least Atelier. At least Atelier Yumiya went on sale for is on sale for like $58 on Amazon right now. So I bought some. Like I'd have paid $60. I was never gonna pay $70.
Yeah.
And they never lower the price of their games. Koei Tecmo never lowers the price of their games. So I'm like, I guess I better just do it. Dynasty Warriors Origins still $70.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it drop. I don't think I've seen a sale advertised for that ever. Which seems crazy.
Like maybe on Black Friday it'll go down to $50. A game that will almost be a year old by then.
Mm-hmm.
Man, imagine how much more money they could have made, though, if Fantasy Life I, the girl who, by the way, steals time, not leaps through time.
Okay.
Worth noting, they
bad.
didn't just take the title of that anime movie.
Mamoru Soda's Fantasy Life.
This is ours now. Imagine how much more money it would have made if it was $80.
Oh, you're right. If it was $80,
Yeah,
I'd really buy that.
that's how business works. That's how business works.
Randy
What's a
told
laugher
me.
curve? What's a laugher curve? I got an MBA, so the hardest thing I had to do in school was a coloring book. I have to turn in my thesis for my MBA tomorrow. It's a 150-word essay. I'm really stressing out about it.
Yeah, it's okay. You get ChatGPT to do it. The teacher won't care.
I'm going to bed. I'm going.
But I strongly recommend Fantasy Life if you like that sort of crafting gather. Do you wish Animal Crossing had a shitload of brain spiders to give you with 800 different meters you could fill?
Yeah, filling meters is important, okay?
Would you like to crit on chopping down a tree? Would you like to begin harvesting something called Fire Star Crystal level 25 and a Gregorian chant starts playing while you hit it with a pickaxe? Excellent game. Very good game. Pipistrello 2. Buy both of those games. Pipistrello is more important, though. Fantasy Life seems to be doing all right.
Did Fantasy Life, did that come physical or was it a digital only game? I can't remember.
I think it has a physical, but I bought it digitally.
Okay.
I think Spiff was telling me that the PS5 version isn't physical at all.
Huh.
That would make sense, probably, because it's like, well, it's going to sell way more on Switch.
Yeah, but it's you get much better margins on PS5 because it's just a fucking disc.
It's true.
And they did say that, I think they said that, like, yeah, that's going to have a day one update for the Switch too.
Yeah, I was thinking about picking up for the Switch 2 just for that reason, so that way I could have a game I could play extensively on a Switch 2 just to really familiarize myself. Yeah. So I'm thinking of doing that.
But yeah, they were adding...
People are saying physical in Asia only.
Oh.
That sucks, but whatever.
That does
but yeah, it's one of those games where it will keep you up later than you want to be because it's like, well, I'll just craft a little bit more.
Yeah, just one more.
I'll just go harvest a little bit more.
This game is threatening to destroy Tosh, and she doesn't even know.
Does it have, and this is important, a shadow assassin?
It has like an evil goth sorceress that keeps menacing you.
Fuck! Come on.
And the way, and you're like the story of the game is that like you're going on this archaeological expedition to this island with your mentor who doesn't seem to be evil, but he sure looks like a scumbag. Like he has a top hat and like really heavy bags under his. He looks like a con artist. But he seemingly is not a con artist. Like he seemingly is a legitimate archaeologist who just looks that way.
Okay.
But he keeps running forward, like towards the sorceress to get deeper in this ruins, and she keeps blocking the path with something that you have to go do an entire, like a whole fucking adventure to figure out how to get past. And she keeps trapping him in tortures that fail because she's bad at it. So she traps him in the infinite study hell. And he's like, I'm a nerd. Fucking, I'll read all these books. They were very interesting. Thank you. And she traps him in spicy curry hell, but she doesn't like spice, so it's just normal curry. And I haven't gotten the next one yet, but I'm pretty sure she trapped him in like the chair from The Tick that's too comfortable and you never want to get out of it.
Got to.
very stellar game. You can make your character look however you want. You can make all kinds of just. It's exactly as good as the original was, which also ate up a lot of my time. I'm so glad that they could bring it back and it be fine because they fired Keiji Inafune, and then I think the CEO took over as director and is like, we polished everything and added a climbing system that was not there before.
It could mean anything, though. We don't know that Keiji Inafune is a hack. We don't know.
And that is everything I played.
Podlords.
Ah!
Yes, that's right. The Podlords. Podlords such as BN12, Red Blaze 27, Suzushiro. Hey guys, I'm going to McDonald's. Do you want anything?
Is he melting?
It's the Blades of Fire map sequence.
Yeah.
Oh, right. We forgot that.
Fucking
that
Lords
it's
of
literally
Shadow.
that.
Yeah, it's just direct.
Wonderful. Remastered int. WTF, Spider-Man. Mister, I like spam. Give Saber Taco and Honkai Star Rail. The further from Japan these songs play, the faster the body spins. If we launch speakers into orbit, we'll power half the globe.
What?
Dogs!
Well, there too.
They're so
Isn't
cute.
it so sad? Isn't it so sad we have to spell that word differently now?
Legally, yes.
Chris C. Juice Frost.
That is how it would sound.
Cooper Tank.
Kyoshika Magadori and the Holy Jumonji Sword shall exorcise you if you do not purchase
100 Line Last Defense Academy.
Okay, so I know, I'm not stupid. I know that's not an evil katana that sends you into the board game.
Do you know
But
that?
now I really want that to be a thing.
Anything could be in that game. It has 100 different routes.
Right?
Indigo Sykes. Gaijin. Shinji 16 is super excited for the return of Sprite, star of Providence Racing, and hopes more folks sign up.
What about Sprite?
What's that?
Oh well, whatever.
A raccoon with a big nose.
Oh, it's like baby.
Wow, it's like half possum.
I know.
Right?
That was my thought.
Sarah Lee. The strongest Podlord bit in history versus the strongest Podlord bit of today.
No, that first one ain't it. Chief? No. That's not Gary Busey. And you'll never be Gary Busey.
I'm glad the Joe Yaz is mostly soft.
Yeah, I'd like Joe Yaza to die. Like that'd really make me happy.
The Hard M. Bearded Joe.
Yosa.
Pleochrome. A blade of fire forged with flint and steel.
Did you have that as a sound clip? I forget.
Oh,
No, we didn't have time.
I am God's strongest crack smoker. Kodaka and Uchikoshi forgot that I'm him. I out queer baited the chess dog.
God
Did
damn.
you really? That's less time than I expected that to take. For the
Fair,
record.
yeah, that's surprising.
Mission Impossible Final Reckoning was an 11 out of 10. Best set pieces in this series, but more than anything, J.J. Abrams could suck.
Yeah, J.J. Abrams isn't very good, is what I'm learning from every single thing he's ever done.
Virnvarm. Hector.
Yeah, he's sure a guy.
Different Dimension Night Owl.
Oh my.
It's like all mouth.
Right? Like, is that a rend in space that's just mouth?
I think this is an enemy in X6.
Will this podlord remember to change their name? Gary Busey and the man in the mirror.
Come on! This is getting excessive.
Why?
This is so good. Jesus Christ. Cryptid bird. Digital basic. Oh, that looks more like doggital basic to me.
True.
Fork.
It's not beaver.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Why bother? And D'Artagnan, forma de Hada del Bosque. Thank you. I don't like looking at. Thank you very much, Rob. Thank you, Podlord.
Thank you, Podlord.
Thank you, Podlords. If you'd like, and if you'd like to become a Podlord, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/gbpodcast. For as little as $5 a month, you get access to many benefits, such as early access to Chugging Bleach. Who knows how long that'll last now? It's going to be a while before the next we make one to push that early access episode out of the chamber. But also you get extended, probably early access to several new shows we'll be launching within the next a month. Is it a month?
It's something like that.
Let's say a couple something like a month.
Let's say a couple months. It's a number.
3 months. Within 3 months.
It's bigger than 0. It's smaller than 5. I'm becoming Paul F. Tompkins playing the Cake Boss.
Oh my God.
You get extended content for Armchair Devs and Gamer Premonitions. Oh boy, are you gonna want the extras for those soon.
Yes, you will.
And don't
Please
forget that also get the extra Gamer Premonitions for the event next week. You can find out everything there.
Some of the most fucked up shit is in the extras.
It really is.
Please look forward to my favorite thing I've ever made for a podcast.
God! Dude.
It wasn't my favorite when I went in, but when people reacted to it, it became my favorite.
It's so much, man.
Such a bastard.
An entire movie called Isolation 119. I'm thinking about it now and falling apart. An entire movie called Isolation 119, a delightful movie about a man going to Thailand to get revenge for to investigate his brother being injured by an evil spirit, but it's really just an excuse for him to take a camera around the place he was staying in Thailand and write the trip off as a business expense. And other benefits, like helping us exist.
It's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
I like that. I like food, and I like putting it in my mouth.
Patreon.com/GB podcast. And if you don't have any money, it always helps immensely to spread the word, tell your friends, rate us on Thursdays, rate us with a T on your podcasting app of choice, leave a comment and subscribe, retweet us or repost us on Blue Sky. You know, when indeed we are funny, which is always
fact.
And things like that. Patreon.com/GB podcast. Hell.
We're not even looking at the screen yet. We're already going to hell. Ah! The industry burning down segment.
So Marathon is either delayed or canceled.
Fucking unreal. Jesus, fucking unreal.
Paul Tassi of Forbes has reported, we don't know for sure yet, but they have canceled all paid advertising they had lined up. Like, they have canceled all their marketing, which feels like it would be a delay, but with how Concord went, there's no fucking clue. Like, and I'm gonna be this is brutally honest. From a purely financial standpoint, if you have to delay Marathon 6 months, you should just cancel it. It will not make enough money to recoup those 6 additional months of development.
Yeah, the whole thing's a lost cause at this point, guys. Just wrap it up.
If all they've done is cancel the marketing, if all we've heard of is them canceling the marketing, that may be all they've done.
That would be like
They're just like
intentionally burying it.
We'll get what we get.
Yeah, that.
And then they close it in a week,
that.
like Concord. That would be. And somebody was like, "Hey, guess when all the Bungie leadership, like, guess when Pete Parsons gets to eject? A year from now.
Oh,
next
weird.
summer.
Wow.
Strange.
So what's like if they delay that game a whole year, it'll come out after all of them eject. I don't think Sony's gonna let them delay it a full year. I think they would force it. It'd have to be early next year at the latest. But this might be Sony's like, fuck you, we're canceling your marketing. We might not directly control you, but we can cancel your marketing, and now your game's gonna sell, and we will have control of you. $4 billion. 3.4 billion, but whatever.
I would like to point out there was a whole fucking thing where I watched this dude. He covers PlayStation news. He's really good, but he really definitely thinks that corporations make decisions because they're smart.
Right, like he thinks there's some logic behind it.
So he's been defending the Bungie acquisition with the sort of, well, we don't know what they're working on. It might be really good. We need to see. Ever since it happened, and even now he's like, this really isn't working out, is it? What a nightmare.
Yeah.
What a
No,
nightmare.
it's not. So I guess we'll have to see. If they're gonna delay it, they will 100% delay it within the next month, because they're gonna do a summer showcase, probably, unless they're even more on fire than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And they will announce it as delayed before that, so people won't be asking, like, where the fuck is Marathon? Like, they'll delay it before that, so people will know it won't be there.
We have to delay it to remove the art that was stolen, which is all of it.
Oh. Oops, the game's gone. You just deleted it.
Man.
It would be so funny if you found out, back channel, that they're being sued massively.
They seem to be giving that artist some money or doing something, which it should be high 6 digits, low 7 at least.
100% fucking pay up.
They should never have to worry about money for the foreseeable future.
Yep. Back wages and credit as art director.
Yep.
Man, Sony has to do a showcase if that Venom game is coming out, because they have to announce it. Unless that's also canceled, and they're
that's a really big
screwed.
if at this point. It feels like
Right?
nothing is coming out somehow.
Mm-hmm. It's like the only thing coming out is Ghost of Tsushima and
Death Stranding 2.
Death Stranding 2.
Death Stranding 2.
Ghost of Yote.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah.
Playtonic has been hit with layoffs. They are
Fuck
the developers
this.
of Yooka-Laylee. They cite difficulty finding funding. No shit, like that's everybody right now.
That's everyone.
Low performance of the games they published under the Playtonic Friends label, which is stuff like what's that 3D platformer that we during Demon Turf.
Yeah, Demon Turf.
And they're also doing the sequel, and a lot of games other than that I never heard of.
Yeah, they did do a number of games. Yeah.
Yeah.
And low wish listing for Yuka Replayly, which seems like a metric you should never make a financial decision based on.
Yeah. For all you
Like,
know,
that's not
this
a
comes.
pre-order.
No.
That is something that's been a high emphasis in various shows for the last few years, like since COVID hit. Like, no, everyone needs to talk about the wish list. The wish list is
Everyone
important.
needs to go wish list their game.
Which is, I
that
assume
has to be something investors want, which is like, that's so stupid. That
Yeah.
means nothing.
It's insane.
Yeah.
They're like
I wish list a game so I'll know when it's
money.
$5.
Mm-hmm.
We filmed all of these people saying the name of our game into a camera, which makes our game more viable.
Yeah. God. This sucks.
It sucks so bad. I thought they were on a good path.
It fully explains what they're working on is Yooka-Laylee, though.
It does.
It's like, oh, that's all you can.
That's all you can work on.
Yeah, that sucks.
That's so bad. It's like, guys, this.
Yeah.
We probably should have realized things weren't going that great when they're like, here's the sequel to Yooka-Laylee. It's a 2D platformer that has like 4 tile sets for levels.
But that game is considered to be vastly better. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was like critically praised, and it was them doing like Donkey Kong Country
them
again,
doing
which is
the
neat.
other rare thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
so in a lot of ways, that was good, and they were probably still financially perfectly fine then, but then they published a shitload of games that didn't do well.
Yeah.
And they ran out the clock on making an actually new game, so then they had to go remake the first game. That was like 17 red flags in a row, it felt like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't want them to get reabsorbed by Microsoft.
Oh my.
I have to wonder if Microsoft's even considering buying more
Anyone
studios now.
ever again.
Yeah.
Because they bought Activision.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see. They might be like, we have fucking Call of Duty. We don't need any other game, actually. You should be lucky we're not shutting down every single other studio we own.
Yeah.
Okay, here's some big ones. EA cancels the Black Panther game and closes Cliffhanger Games, the studio they built. They opened to make the Black Panther game with talent from various places in the industry, including Monolith. Blood Shadow of Mordor Monolith, not Xenoblade Monolith.
Yeah. So some of the people responsible for engineering the Nemesis system allegedly were working on this game, and that's basically the entire pedigree of the studio. So
We never saw anything of this game, not a frame.
No.
yeah, and it's been announced for 2 years now.
Yeah, I forgot this was announced.
And it's worth noting the only press release they did about it was in September of last year. This is the only real thing we heard about it at all. Black Panther game will feature new storytelling tech that will be used across various EA studios.
I love storytelling tech.
This is what it is to huff the galaxy gas at the corporate level. We got the people who made
Yeah,
the
what does
Nemesis
that
system,
mean?
and they're going to reinvent how storytelling is done in video games, and we're going to make all of our studios do it. And it's like, yeah, I'm sure the studio, completely new studio, with new people who haven't shipped the game, got storytelling. The art of telling a story so nailed that every other studio will kneel to the technology.
It's the AI that Nvidia showed. We'll be able to talk
You know
to
what
the
I?
Unicorn
You know what
guy.
I think it? You know what I honestly think it is? I think that EA leadership got convinced that they'll make us our version, like they'll make something on the level of a Nemesis system for us that we'll be able to use in all our games.
yeah.
And when they couldn't
Yeah.
do that, they shut them down.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're going to be like, there has been a lot of crime on this side of town. The crime is bad. I do not like it.
It feels very explicitly like the same thing that keeps happened, where it's like, here's our new studio. We're making a AAA game. We're going to spend 18 months in pre-production and then give our investors how much money it would cost to actually make the game that they wanted us to make. And then the investors go, oh, I didn't think there'd be that many zeros attached. You're closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it keeps happening.
So we have no idea how many people were affected by this, but it's in the hundreds.
God.
Dog shit.
Yeah.
Industry.
Don't go straight to this AAA Productions pipeline.
We got
God, it's a
nothing else is worth doing. We have
Well,
to
don't
make...
worry, Bob. EA's going to refocus on Battlefield, which has never done as well as EA wanted.
No.
Skate, which is a service game that's going to die on Impact.
Yeah.
Apex, which is fine, but it's clearly a game in the back half of its life cycle.
Right,
Like it peaked
it's-
in 2022 and is slowly going down.
It's on that downward trend. You can't change that.
And The Sims, which they're trying to make into a generational platform nightmare.
Yep. That whole Sims thing they did was fucking insane and sucks.
A lot of people at EA found this out from IGN when IGN put up the article.
Wow. That always feels great.
Awesome.
At the start of May, EA laid a bunch of people off from Codemasters, and a rumor came out today that EA is going to gut Codemasters, who they bought in 2021 for $1.2 billion. EA denied this, but why wouldn't they? How would the person they asked know? We know for, like, the director of X Defiant didn't know that game was being shut down in 2 months.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They already did layoffs. They seemingly bought them in part for the World Rally Championship license, and then EA World Rally Championship didn't do very well, so they got rid of that license. Like, they sold it to Nacon, I think.
What?
Yeah,
Masterful
they made EA Sports World Rally Championship in 2023, and it seemingly didn't do that well, so they sold the license back to Nacon, I guess.
Great.
And Codemasters got that license in 2020, so it must have been a factor of that acquisition.
So stupid.
F1 25 comes out tomorrow. And if there's any hope for Codemasters, that game has to do good. Because if it does bad, I don't care what anybody at EA says, they're going to shut them down.
God, does that mean they've released anything under EA other than this thing tomorrow? Like, did they make a grid game?
They released EA Sports World Rally Championship in 2023, and they've released 2 other F1 games, F1 2022 and F1 2023.
Oh my God.
They only make racing games now. Like, they've
Right.
only made racing games for the past decade.
Yeah,
Yep.
Codemasters only does that, but they used to do grid and they used to do dirt, and those were like the actually good ones they were known for, and they were like, well,
I don't think they did either of those in the for EA. I don't think they've done either of
Yeah,
those
because
since
the last
since EA
dirt was
acquired
the
them.
launch of the new consoles.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Let me make sure that's right. They made Grid Legends in 2022.
Oh, that didn't do good. It was very funny though. Had the
It was.
live action cutscenes.
Yeah.
Why did they buy
Yeah,
them again? Like they already had their own. Like they had Criterion. They
Yeah.
had the guys who did some other goods that did Need for Speed. Why did they buy another racing game
I don't know.
developer? That made no sense.
Yeah, who knows? And this came from Jez Corden today, and he's a little Microsoft Stogie boy, so I'm sure this is true. He may even be a literal corporate surrogate.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Microsoft has never done that before.
Microsoft is shelving the Xbox Portable for now, they insist, because their priority is making a version of Windows 11 that doesn't get fucking humiliated by SteamOS on portable PCs.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Because it's like Steam. I think somebody was saying in a lot of cases SteamOS gets twice the performance.
Yeah, no, the benchmarks came out from, I believe it was Dave 2D, his YouTube review. Because they came out with versions of SteamOS you can install on these third-party portables, and the performance shot up insanely. The battery life increased. Windows 11 is a dog shit OS, and honestly, there should be a easily won class action suit.
But don't worry, Jez Corden is like, they're still making another Xbox. It's still gonna come out next year. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, we're gonna print sticker sheets that say this is an Xbox.
I mean, that's all it takes. Doesn't even take that much.
Why would anyone even care?
Well, because it's going to be the super powerful Xbox next year.
Okay.
You're all going to get the super powerful Xbox, right?
Is it like
It's supposed
it's
to
gonna
be
cost
that.
$1,200?
Yeah, it's
so
probably going to be the one that costs $1,200. Yeah,
Is it going to have a new game that I haven't seen before?
it plays all your games better. It's not going to have any games that are exclusive.
Oh,
We're done doing
doesn't
that for the rest of time.
It doesn't play all my games better because I own a lot of Japanese games that do not exist on your hardware because you don't give a shit about having a complete library anymore.
Oh.
Maybe that's a little unfair because they did actually go out of their way to get Atelier Yumiya, the first Atelier game to launch on Xbox. I think it sold 3 copies.
I wish we had those numbers. I wish Koei Tecmo
Yes.
spitefully released numbers like that. Yeah,
Please,
good. we sold 800 on Xbox.
If you somehow have access to these numbers, please just DM one of us the numbers
Yes,
on
please.
this, Persona 3 Reload, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, and Metaphor Refantasia, what those sold on Xbox platforms. I promise I will not drop your name. You have complete anonymity. I just want to know.
In chat, someone's like, hey, Xbox games are real cheap on clearance. I wonder why. It's almost like they're less valuable inherently.
Every time I go to look, like every time I look at a game, like the Xbox version is almost always cheaper, and I'm like, $5 ain't that important.
No,
Right?
that's it.
God, I traded in my only Xbox Series game, which was Warhammer Space Marine 2, the other day. Just was like, I don't even have an Xbox. I'm never playing this again like that.
Shocking. I mean, I have an LG TV. I think that's an Xbox.
Yeah, but you can't get the discount.
Well, you have a PS5. That's an Xbox.
I can get the disc in that.
Eventually they'll do that. They'll be like, yeah, just put your Xbox disc in the PlayStation.
We don't care anymore.
We don't care.
We don't care. That's fine.
If they could somehow make that happen, it would be the funniest thing in the entire world.
It would. It would be fucking hilarious.
That will be at their Summer Games Showcase this year.
That would be
Like, yeah,
so
we dropped a huge update. You just put it in.
They're like, isn't that great? You can play Gears 5. Gets no sales because everyone bought Gears 5 for $5 5 years ago.
Or just played it on Game Pass and never wanted to think about it again.
Sony won't let them put Game Pass on the PlayStation. They're such bullies.
We
Don't
let
they
them
know
put
how
the disc in. Why not?
pro-consumer that is?
Yeah,
Hey,
we have our own. Sony has their own dog shit subscription service, which somehow has 3 times the subscribers of Game Pass.
Hey, how come nobody's clapping back at any of the game journalists and podcasters who kept saying Game Pass was pro-consumer for 7 years straight there?
Because people have the memory of a goldfish.
Yeah.
See, the new meta, Dan, which I have seen so many people say, so many Xbox-oriented journalists bring up, that I assume it has to now be a secret marketing push from Xbox. Which is like, even if the game doesn't sell very much on Game Pass or get played very much on Game Pass, period, it increases the profile of the game, so it helped it succeed. Microsoft is actually partially responsible for Claire Obscure's success.
Yep. I've seen crazy people say that.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched the clip where the director supposedly says that, and it's the most, like, yes, the industry professional did not speak ill of one of their marketing partners.
Strange.
Right?
Why did you expect that to happen?
I mean, with that, you could give it more to, they gave them a place at their showcase in January.
Uh-huh.
That's bigger than being on Game Pass.
It is. But in order to do that, they have to be on Game Pass.
That's true.
So really, Game Pass did this for everyone.
Oh,
You're welcome.
Thank you, I guess.
Let's move on to other news. Capcom removed games for Windows Live from Lost Planet 1 and 2, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and Operation Raccoon City. Weirdly, though, when they removed it from Lost Planet 2, the update causes it to lose track of the save file. Like, your save file, it just goes, it's missing. And the online mode is missing. Wow. It's like, that's a multiplayer-oriented game. Fucking what? So, I don't know. Maybe it was better before this update.
This is, keep in mind, none of these are actually for sale right now, because this is if you download it again from them. So I have to wonder if this is like an intermediate update and then they're going to be a full one.
Like someday these come back and are fully formed games again.
Right.
One has to wonder.
But that does suck that in removing that, which they absolutely should do and put them back on the market, entailed removing multiplayer.
Yeah, no, that sucks. That's a multiplayer-oriented game. It's really not a good move.
And so are the other ones, like Operation Raccoon City. That's just
super
multiplayer
oriented. Yeah, Lost Planet 1 luckily isn't, but that's it.
I was really disappointed because when I saw this news story, I was like, well, let me see if I bought Street Fighter Cross Tekken while that was still on sale. No, I did not, so I could not check out that.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Let's see. This is weird.
I don't know how much this qualifies as a news story as opposed to a weird thing I wanted to bring up and point at. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 on the Switch 2 is a game key card.
Everything.
So everything, it's looking more and more like basically everything will be a game key card.
I saw the guys putting out Room Factory being like, we were so happy to be able to put this on an actual full game card, but that made
You
it
mean
cost
cartridge?
Yes, game.
Yeah.
So it is the full thing's on the cartridge. But that is the reason it's $70, and it's like, man, this sucks.
Yeah, this sucks.
Yep.
It's like that was not a worthwhile trade-off, Nintendo. Why did you do this?
Because we needed to remove bottlenecks at all costs. Also worth noting, we covered this in prior weeks, but it's still the case. And the fact it's still the case really means it's worth bringing up. Journalists are not getting Switch 2s, it looks like. We have apparently people high up at IGN still implying they have no confirmation from Nintendo they're getting any Switch 2s to test.
For anyone who's not keeping track of it, the Switch 2 is out in a week.
The Switch 2 is technically out in our area in 6 days and 11 minutes.
Yeah.
6 days and 11 minutes, and they don't have them.
Weirdly, I've started seeing leak videos from people who have been getting them. But it sounds like the official sources are, though.
I mean, nobody's going to get to do pre-launch coverage like Nintendo requires an update that's not going to be up till day one. Like, nobody's going to have pre-launch coverage of the Switch 2.
Are you guys excited for our launch stream?
Where the servers might not even let us download this update.
When literally nothing works?
I'm gonna have my Street Fighter day one. We'll see if I can play it.
That would be shocking. Like, it would be shocking for Nintendo to fuck up that bad.
It would.
Like, that would be one of those. That would be one of those. Like, wow, there's no hope. Every single company in the industry is brain dead.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm just gonna play retro games for the next 30 years.
Already, Nintendo's been showing those signs with the $80 cartridges.
Yeah, no,
that's just normal evil.
That is
different from your shit not working.
That is a level of brain dead that is indicative of the entire rest of the industry, where it's just like
brain dead, but
we'll
at the same time they're hedging. It feels like, because so many of the Switch 2s have that game bundled in. Seems like they're maybe hedging their bets a little bit on that one. But we'll see if Metroid Prime 4 is $80.
Yeah, we still don't know.
Yeah, I think it will be, because like Zelda Tears of the Kingdom's $80.
Well, yeah, the Switch 2 version, because it includes the update. It was $70.
So good. Ignore the fact Tears of the Kingdom came out years ago at this point.
Kirby and the Forgotten Land on Switch 2 is $80 because it includes that new 2-second DLC they made.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is wrong with them? Yeah, so about how I think Nintendo is just lined up perfectly with the entire rest of the industry on this, and it's insane.
Yeah, no, it feels like they have absolutely lost it.
In some ways, leapfrogged everyone else because they were the first to announce an $80 game.
Yep.
Yeah, and now the whole industry has prion disease. My Xbox announced that, man, goodbye Obsidian. The Outer Worlds 2 is going to be $80 and sell fucking nothing.
Yeah, what?
That is fucked.
Avowed on PS5 is going to be $80 and sell fucking nothing. Starfield on PS5 is going to be $80 and sell nothing. But at least that one might include the expansion because it's been so long.
This is the year to get into retro games.
Yup.
In Pipistrello.
I've heard they're still pretty new.
Yeah. I've heard this about many a video game, actually. Let's see. Let's go to Dr. Aggro. Dr. Aggro.
So, the Atomfall DLC that they said they were going to make, they apparently made it.
Whoa.
It's coming out June 3rd.
Okay.
It's called The Wicked Isle. It apparently has a bunch of stuff to do with the druids in that game. There also seem to be pirates and fishmen and the undead. You get a blunderbuss, you get a pirate sword. Looks like a good time. Apparently, you can also pick up leads on the island that lead to getting new endings.
That's fun.
Yeah, I am fascinated to see, like, is it a whole new ending? Is it the same as one of the other endings, but now there's a fish man standing next to me? I don't know. I feel like there's a lot I could have changed about those endings if I had a pirate blunderbuss. But I guess we're gonna find out.
I want to play Way of Samurai where I get the ending that's exactly the same, but I have a fish man next to me.
Oh, hell yeah. Some variety.
The Shape of Water's sick-ass katana.
As I was sitting here, and I realized I didn't express something a moment ago. I pull up Blue Sky, and I'm just skimming it real quick to make sure we're not missing any major news. I see Kelsey Loon over here talking about, this is the least, quote, 1 week from a console launch, quote, I have ever felt in my life. Same.
Yeah, no, this feels weird.
I was talking to him about this the other day. Literally been at every launch since the PS2. 25 years ago.
Yeah, there's like electricity in there normally, and here it's just like
nothing. Flatline. No one fucking wants it.
And it's a lot because what's on it?
What are you gonna play?
You can play Mario Kart. Wow, a new Mario Kart. That's cool. That's great.
I mean,
why is that it?
That makes you slightly better than the 3DS lineup at launch. But you also cost over twice as much.
In the 3DS,
or exactly twice as much.
That gimmick is bad and dumb, but it was interesting.
It felt novel. They don't even have a single game to feel novel at the launch of the Switch 2.
Yeah, none of it's like, hey, check out the mouse controls, which is the only thing that is novel about this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you can buy that tech demo from the user manual.
It's not at launch. Oh, the user manual one. The wheelchair basketball thing's
launched.
nowhere near done.
Those aren't wheelchairs. They're vehicles. Dan can't. There's no camera on me, but I'm staring back at Dan as he looks on the camera.
Just so we're clear about the social power dynamic happening.
Man.
Yeah, it does feel like I understand that like the cross-gen phase is going to happen for every new platform forever now because they will. But you still gotta you should still have 2 or 3. Like new things.
It should still feel like a wow moment.
Like, I don't understand why they didn't either find some way to make Donkey Kong ready for launch or just push the console back another month.
Guys, fellas, champs, there's a reason the Xbox is no longer a going concern, and it probably has something to do with the complete lack of software and then quality software. Especially now more than ever, exclusive to the platform. So maybe, just maybe, you launch your new console with a game unlike them. And yeah,
they are launching with a game.
They could have at least done, what they did back on the Wii. It was like, oh yeah, I mean, Twilight Princess is coming out on the GameCube, but it's also gonna be on the Wii day one. So you have that was Metroid. Like Metroid Prime should be ready by now.
Yeah.
It feels like maybe once again Nintendo is having the problem where production has scaled up to a new tier and they maybe weren't ready for it.
Yeah, I mean that's everything we heard was it only got delayed because software wasn't ready.
Which is crazy because their games on the Switch look
fine,
plenty good enough.
Yeah, we just want it to look sharper.
Right? Like
we saw screenshots of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet on the Switch and I'm like, wow, that looks like a respectable video game and doesn't fall down into being on the N64 sometimes.
Fast Fusion and Mario Kart are it. We're gonna have to buy that tech demo just so the stream where we play games that are new isn't 1 hour long. Anyway, so let's move on to other news.
Yeah, you need anything to keep Dan out of Mario Odyssey.
Actually, that's true. We should note here, big thing to mention. Next week is Friday after the Game Awards. Friday after
Summer Gaming.
Well, yeah. Sorry.
Summer Game Fest.
Look at Jeff Keighley next Friday, and after he has disappeared from your vision, we will be here with big thing to mention. super late Wednesday, technically super early Thursday. And then later on Thursday, we will be doing whatever nightmare streams come out of the Switch 2, baby.
Yeah, we get our Switch 2s the night before, Wednesday night. So we'll be live streaming as soon as we can after that.
We will probably find a way to be live before midnight.
Yes, because technically our store is selling them before midnight.
So please look forward to that. And we will do our Friday thing. We will do Big Think after Summer Games Fest on Friday. So that way we have news to cover.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want to be like, check out our Big Think dimension where we talked about the 3 directs that went before Jeff Keighley for some reason.
And we get to talk about our experience with the Switch 2.
Yes.
Which is going to be very important to crystallize, I feel.
And this will be, of course, after we live stream Jeff Keighley's event. And you can watch us watch it.
You can watch us watch it watching with you as you watch us watch it.
I'm so excited. Next week is crazy.
Next week's going to be insane.
There's never been this where a console launches in the middle of our E3, other than like this
Ever.
the Saturn.
Yeah.
But that was a weird thing where it was like,
and then they
go
were
get
like,
it now.
It's at Toys R Us. I just ruined all my business relations.
Oh, different times.
It's me, Tom Kalinske. I think it was Kalinske. Was it someone else?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. Someone in chat will correct me. KB Toys. Okay, right. Not Toys R Us. So completely.
So, speaking of things to be excited for, are you excited for the physical version of Senua's Saga Hellblade 2?
No.
I
Good,
don't think anybody is.
because you shouldn't be, because apparently it's limited run games.
Boo.
Microsoft is so like it is like they are stripping the copper wire out of the walls over there.
Yeah. God.
Like you're launching like you act like your games are important and then you don't release them physically.
Yeah, that's I can't wait to see how they fuck this up.
I don't even know how they did with the oh my god, the Tango Gameworks game,
Hi-Fi Rush.
Hi-Fi Rush. I have no idea how that release went.
It
In other
never
news-
came out, chat says.
Oh,
What?
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 Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I know that's the expected release schedule for a
Limited run
limited run
games joint.
thing, but wow.
Just print the disc, ship the box. It's not. This is a solved problem.
They're
We've been
trying
doing
to,
this for decades.
guys. They're trying. Dual Edge in chat has it correct. They're trying to figure out how to fit Hellblade 2 on a CDR.
I didn't want to say it.
This is complicated.
At that point, just print the cover art for Hellblade 2 on the CDR. We don't need anything on the disc. We don't. Just leave that at home.
Just say it's a game key card or something. Who fucking knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
We boot up my fucking Light Scribe drive and get this done.
Thank you.
Oh shit, that's awesome. She's got fucking horns. It's like some fan art you made.
You just downloaded some random fan art.
Yeah, I made it with AI. I asked her to make her a real sick bitch. Wow, that's really great, dude.
Thank you so much, Limited Run.
How many of these did you print? 10,000? Okay. I don't mean to alarm you, but I don't think this is Senua. I think this is that cat girl from Heavenly Sword.
Twang twang.
The AI mixed up twink twang.
She played
that her
Twing
name?
Twang. She didn't. That was not her name.
We're changing history right here, right now. Her name's Twing Twang. Chris, we hold strong. Diamond hands.
So it turns out that my coworker wasn't drunk.
Oh.
Bandai Namco actually did announce that they're making a live-action Elden Ring movie,
Oh.
Yeah.
partnering up with A24.
Okay.
It's being written by Alex Garland, the guy who wrote Ex Machina and Annihilation.
Huh.
I've heard Annihilation's really good.
And Civil War, and that movie War from last year.
As with all people who make movies, and something terrible, but we don't want to focus on that.
I do not believe this movie will actually come together. Elden Ring seems like the most unfilmable thing in the world.
I keep wondering who Jack Black is going to play in it.
I mean, it shouldn't be this hard. You just go out to Iceland with some cool knight armor, and the movie makes itself.
I don't know. Elden Ring has way too much weird shit in it. Like, you can't capture that in a movie very easily.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like, you can't make the Elden Ring movie and not have the Radahn fight in it, and Jesus.
Like, you have, like, the closest you could get is just to make some bizarre expressionist film with guys in knight armor and just call it Elden Ring.
Mm-hmm.
My name's Dan Video Games. I'm auditioning for the role of unfunny podcaster. Okay. I am Radahn. No? Okay. I am Ragadon. Is that no? Okay. I am Godwin. I think this is a good one. I think we're sticking.
We can do
no.
that. I hear there's this guy who eats poop.
Jack Black.
Yeah, do you think he'll be in the movie? That's who Jack Black would play. Yes, he'll play the vile doo-doo eater.
Can't wait to see Chris Pratt as Ranny.
Why?
Wait, one second. I am maidenless. Is that?
He's the main character.
Is that? Did I get the job?
Yep, you did it.
Yes. Thank you, Super Mario in chat. We did it. Official co-writer. Hey, Bob.
Hey, what's up?
You have news, but let's just talk about the state of play first. The days of play.
The days of play, yes.
Days of play.
The days of play. Sony is doing their yearly sale. It is very similar to other years. You can get the PS5 with Black Ops 6 in a bundle for $450.
And that's undoubtedly the digital.
No, that's the one with the disc.
Oh my
it's $400 if you want the one without the disc.
Whoa!
It just is. I had to put this in here.
Okay.
Just because it's like Xbox raised their prices last month.
Yeah, why did they have to raise their price?
What?
It seems like they were like, oh, thank God tariffs gave us an excuse.
Yeah.
Like, guys, you're already selling nothing.
Right?
I guess if you're already selling nothing, there's no reason not to raise your price. So if you do somehow get a sale, you get a little more.
The fucking visual in my head for this was that I think it was a bit from either Simpsons or The Critic, where it's like, oh, thank God I can stop sucking in. And they're already fat and they just go,
That's The Simpsons when they're going to the Super Bowl, like every guy on the bus goes, oh, there's no women around. And they all do it.
Jesus.
that's Phil.
Yeah. God. This is like good. We have this excuse. They haven't started yet, but we're doing it.
Meanwhile, Sony is that bit from Ghostbusters 2. Suck it in, boys. We're the Ghostbusters.
Yeah. The PS5 Pro is $650, which is $50 off.
You might know.
It's still too expensive.
Does that even have the disk drive?
Of course it doesn't.
It doesn't. That is $200 more and doesn't have the disk drive.
$200. I never feel like that
more.
$200
Bob,
more of performance.
You saw the Blades of Fire direct comparison. 200?
No.
50% better? More than? No?
No. $50 off PS VR.
2. So I think that puts and it's the bundle with Call of the Mountain. So I think that puts it at $350 or $250. I can't remember. Either way, very fucking low price for what I think is the best headset on the fucking market.
Yeah.
You like VR. That's a fucking awesome way to play those games because they play really fucking well, even on a base PS5. Obviously, that's where I did most of my VR gaming so far. I've barely done any on the Pro. And you have what Agra would say is a pretty good video game with it. Honestly, I think it's a pretty good video game. I think it's just depressing because of the end game content. Yeah.
Also, it's $20 off of the DualSense's, just the regular ones, and $30 off the DualSense Edge.
Oh, okay.
So if you were considering getting a DualSense, like if you need a new one, this is the only time of the year to buy one other than Black Friday, basically.
Which is how this ends up every year, it feels like.
And they're doing that thing again where PS Plus is on sale, but only for the higher tiers. They don't want to give you a sale price for the lower tier. That's still like $80 or something insane. So that sucks. And they need to be hit with a bat until they fix it.
I mean, legally, they should be hit with a bat because they took out the ability to export your saves from your console.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. And then there's other sales you can check out on their website and whatnot. There's a bunch of stuff marked down. It's pretty decent.
Yeah,
setup.
You could get a deal on Lego Horizon Adventures.
Is that a deal? Like, no matter how much money you save, is that a deal?
How much do you like hot dogs and hot dog stands?
God. They also have the DualSense, what was it? Or not DualSense, the Pulse Explore wireless earbuds for 30 off. Those have lossless audio and like low latency as hell.
Oh.
So if you earbud game, if you play the game Airbud, maybe that's for you. I still haven't tried them. I would love to try them to check them out for you guys, but that requires money. I don't got that shit. Thank you again for the code for Pipistrello. Anything else you want to mention from the sale?
No, that's pretty much it.
Okay, let's move on.
The game Davy X Jones was announced for PCs.
Is this just two dudes and they kiss?
No. This is a first-person shooter based on the legend of Davy Jones.
Why is the X there?
I don't know. But there are
X video games,
like,
except for that kind of works.
I think they're going with your play is a basically headless horseman style character of like the head is called Davy and the body is called Jones.
Okay. All right, sure.
It looks kind of neat. It's mostly set underwater. It looks like you play as like the undead pirate dude and you fight demons. Looks pretty cool.
Cool.
And your head looks like he's going to be very funny.
Hilarious.
Like, this is coming from me in that trailer. That skull will not shut the fuck up.
Most loathsome bitch. Davey.
When are we getting the Whatever Happened to Robot Jones first-person shooter?
Armor King's coming to Tekken 8 this fall.
Hell yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
They sure had to like break the emergency glass. It's like, oh right, everybody hates the guy we're putting in first.
Yeah.
Who's going in first?
Farum Khan or
That guy.
whatever his name is.
Fucking cares. Armor King's cool.
Yeah, Armor King's real cool.
Mm-hmm.
Man, these fighting games really need more than 4 characters a year.
Yeah, another self-destructive casualty of fidelity.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Persona 4 remake has been basically leaked by Yuri Lowenthal.
That's probably actually going to be there next, like either Xbox or the Summer Games Fest next week.
Right, but yeah, Yuri Lowenthal apparently tweeted out, "Hey, I'm sorry, I'm not in the new version of Persona 4. I tried, guys. They wouldn't let me in."
Yeah, Aaron Fitzgerald, who was the voice of Chie, was also like, "I am also not in it."
That's okay.
They
Who cares
recasted
about the
everybody
voice
like
cast?
that. They recasted everybody like they did for Persona 3 Reload.
That sucks so bad.
Like I don't know why. Like I don't know why they did it in either case, but at least in 3's case, is like, we gonna need to get rid of Vic.
I assume when chat says Amanda Winley tweeted mid-podcast, it is to confirm that, and we're all not just telling us about Amanda Winley's Twitter output. Just so y'all know, another tweet. Check it out. Why are they like?
Yeah,
this?
they didn't recast either of these games in Japanese, so I don't know what the fuck
they're doing wrong with them.
Yeah, I don't know. And like these actors clearly like these roles and want to come back.
And Atlas is like, I'm pretty sure Atlas does union hires now, so it's not even like a union issue. Like, it has to be one of those stupid situations where, like, well, they'll want too much money. We're not even going to ask.
I don't understand how you have Keigo in your game and you're like, we don't want the Keigo voice.
Yeah, Lord, Yuri Lowenthal is clearly so sick of having to be epic protagonist, man. He wants to be dirtbag sex best friend again.
He's just hoping.
He's
hoping
so
that whatever comes after the 1,000-Year Blood War is all Keigo, baby.
It's all coming up Keigo.
Somebody posted a video of him doing a bunch of reads as Yosuke, which is just the Keigo voice. It's like, it's bizarre to see that coming out of a human being.
Oh, 100%. That would undo me.
Yes.
It's like when you see Richard Horvitz talk, and it's like, oh, that's just his voice. He's not like transforming his voice. He just sounds like Zim.
It's weird for the natural resting state to sound like that. Ugh.
Cyberpunk 2 entered pre-production, so expect that game in 10 years, maybe.
Yeah, fucking, and it will snow eventually.
Right.
What the fuck is this news? It entered pre-production.
Yeah, apparently they have to tell
How long
investors or
before-
something. It's like, who cares?
How long before when did they announce Cyberpunk 2076 or 2077?
Oh, God,
like 2014, right?
That took forever in development. It may have been before that even.
Yeah, it was an absurd amount of time.
Yeah, 2013 is what all chat's saying, except for one person.
January 2013, so it was basically 8 years.
Yeah.
Well, 7.
So no, because it came out at the end of 2020.
Oh, okay.
Like, it came out pretty much on top of the new consoles, I think.
Yeah, December. Yeah. So you're right. Almost 8 years. Yeah.
So look forward to that game in 2033.
No, games have gotten harder to make since then.
Oh, 2035.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Which is why it's like fucking... Why are we even wasting our breath? This is so fucking stupid. Shut the fuck up, CD Projekt Red.
Shade Protocol was announced. It's a pretty cool looking pixel art cyber fantasy Metroidvania. They do some cool abilities in this trailer. Like, she cuts the whole screen in half, and then that's a way to traverse it differently.
That sounds sick as shit.
Yeah. And then they have stuff where she like makes portals and jumps off her. She has like main weapons like spear, and she shoves it in a wall and things can bounce off of it.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
That's very cool. This game looks cool. It's Shade Protocol. Hey, Chris. It's news time.
Okay, first I want to promote this delightful Blue Sky account I found.
Oh, okay.
Which is called Game Boy Ain't Right, which turns King of the Hill screen caps into Game Boy screen caps. I reposted from it recently, so you can go check it out there. It has a long, complicated URL.
It's handshake. It's limp. I would like to point out again that my girlfriend's father is literally Hank Hill.
I feel like everybody like who's an older millennial's father is in some way Hank Hill.
No, this dude is really Hank Hill. He has the entire soul of Hank Hill in his body. He's just really short. It's really good too, because her mom was watching and her mom's like, he's like your dad. And she's like, yes. I'm like, oh fuck, I thought only I picked up on this.
But real news, Apple is supposed to debut a new gaming app, a dedicated gaming app, like within the next week. They said it said on top of the Switch 2. It'll be pre-installed on all their devices once it debuts. They're really serious about gaming this time, guys. It feels like a response to them losing that Epic suit, like they're trying to do some trick to like not have to actually do what the judge said in that case. And it won't matter because nobody will ever buy a game on a phone. We learned this.
But it's okay because I got the Mac Mini. This is our way. We're gonna be there when they announce exclusive games. We'll be able to play on this bad boy right here.
Yeah, I'd like this to be something interesting, something good in any way, but I just can't have any faith.
It's just gonna be
the arcade.
They've
it's just going to be that
times.
again. Like it's just going to be a prison for games to sit in for a year before normal people can play them. Claire Obscure has sold 3.3 million copies in 33 days.
That's awesome.
It is. Because it's Expedition 33.
Whoa.
And they sold 3.3 million
Right.
copies.
It's crazy.
In 33 days.
How'd it happen?
I'm jabbing my own leg with a fork to not point out that this means it basically has more sales than every single non-action RPG that converted themselves into an action RPG.
Yep. I was talking to my brother about that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Did you
Like,
hear the
hey Dragon Age, maybe you should have stayed real time with pause.
Yup.
Maybe your audience didn't want an action game no matter how boo-boo baby you made it.
Yup.
So
Maybe that also massively increased how much the game had to cost, so you died on impact.
oh man, it's almost like the podcast network that kept pointing out that people like turn-based RPGs and they would be very popular if they made with a certain level of budget and focus again. We're completely fucking right. God, I love being right.
Well, you
get
just put a realistic face on a JRPG character?
Would people
Yeah. Would that just open up a whole new audience for you?
what? Oh my god! Yes, it would actually.
Man,
Yeah.
man, I looked at like beta footage of Claire Obscure, and it's like in that your meter move was literally called Overdrive. It's like hide it a little bit, guys. I guess they did for the final game, but it being called Overdrive like Final Fantasy X took me out.
Jesus. Did you hear the anecdote that Jennifer English, the Miles voice actor, is the reason that game has a story mode?
What do you mean that games has a story?
Well, like story difficulty.
Difficulty, yes. That,
yeah.
okay.
She probably was like, I would like to play this game, and it is ridiculous. Could you do something about that?
Yeah, I expect
Good.
that it will be updated with a like auto parry, just auto parry, or auto dodge at least.
Maybe based on some kind of statistic that I could affect with experience or items.
Pokemon Legends Z to A is out October 6th, also known as Pokemon Legends Project 8. More info will be at the Pokemon Presents on July 22nd. I sure hope that game's not $80. Sucks that we have to say that about every single Nintendo game now.
Yeah.
What a nightmare.
Sure, I'm buying a device that I don't know if I'll ever buy any games for it.
I do wonder if this will see like a spike in like GameStop trade-ins again. Because it's like, fucking better get some of my fucking money back. Dragon Quest Remake 1+2 launches October 30th. I don't know if I'm going to buy this. Because those games are simultaneously real archaic. And I don't know if I would really get a better experience than I would just playing the Game Boy Color versions.
I'm so curious to what they do because there's so little in Dragon Quest 1. I want to know if they try and expand that into like what you would consider a full game.
I think they already showed a new party member for 2, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there'll be something. Like I guess I'll probably still pick it up as long as it isn't a stupid price point, which I don't think it will be.
Yeah, this would be a crazy one to be like $70.
On what?
How much was
Dragon Quest
was
1+2.
Yeah, that would.
was Dragon Quest 350? I think it was 50.
Especially since
thought that was 60,
on
but I don't
Switch
remember.
2, this comes on a game key card.
Right.
So there wouldn't be any reason to do it. I'm seeing a number of
60,
people say
okay.
that the Switch 2 version for Pokemon ZA is seemingly 70. We do have UK and Japanese pricing for it. So it
Okay.
seems to be priced at the same level the $70 games are priced.
That's so...
That's still better. That's better than 80, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah, it's still like, dude, I've seen that game. It ain't $70. What are you on?
Well, no, it's definitely 70 because the Switch 1 version is definitely 60.
How's it different from that? For you? How'd it cost you any more money to make it?
Shut up.
It didn't.
Man, Nintendo like really found the most dog shit way to do this, because even like everybody else is just like, yeah, if you buy the last gen version, you also get the next gen one because we want you to upgrade. But Nintendo's like, we don't need to do that because we're Nintendo and our cock's huge.
They're
We're
about to learn
definitely
something.
it's definitely not going to get hit with a hammer.
Yeah.
I'll probably get this just to see what they did with it. Like Dragon Quest, I mean.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'll probably also buy Pokemon Legends Z to A. I'll find some sort of like I'll throw a bomb at the GameStop employee and steal it and run out. I will not pay $70, but I'll find some way to get it for less than that. I have tricks.
Maybe they'll have some sort of big initiative for like the game code thing again, where you buy 2 games and get them for cheaper.
A
Nothing?
new voucher system would sure be nice. They would sell a lot more games if they did a voucher system, because I would almost certainly buy more games than I would without it. But I don't know. I'll scam GameStop somehow, or somehow trick a Walmart employee.
What a fucking nightmare. This whole thing's-
Usada Pecora, the VTuber, the Rabbit Girl VTuber, is in Death Stranding 2.
Peak.
What about her mom?
Bob's asking the real
Unconfirmed.
questions.
Okay, one moment. I'm typing Usada Pecora mom.
What about her mom in a Harley Quinn outfit?
This
is really
so specific. I'm learning.
Yeah, there's
a lot
a reason.
today.
There's a reason people posted about reigniting a dying star. And Kojima posted like a picture of Usada Pecora like in the Death Stranding outfit
That's good.
and swinging a Kojima Productions logo. And I guess her little mascot is in the tube.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she has a little mascot.
Oh, they've all got.
I
little
guess
mascots.
because it's in the baby pod.
That can't
It's
be
just
right.
so perfect.
That can't be right.
Yeah, no, that's real.
That man just does whatever the fuck he wants. It's so good.
Jesus. What is this timeline?
I need to fucking codec call Corona in a new Metal Gear.
Have the confidence.
Maybe if she hasn't retired by Fizzant coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Corone, I'm wondering, what kind of sound does this vehicle make?
And then she just lets out whatever crazy fucking sounds. Anyway. Oh boy. That's it for Chris news. Hey Bob,
Hey, what's up?
there's some sort of conference at the bottom of this
Oh, there
document.
is. I don't even.
What's the deal with this?
What is this?
This is
Tiny.
a Tiny Build Connect. Tiny Build are people to make the Hello Neighbor or publish Hello Neighbor.
Hello, neighbor.
And they publish a lot of other games too. I don't even know if I want to talk about this.
Oh yeah? Okay.
But sure, let's do it.
You're free to not talk about it.
There's a ferocious playtest happening. This is an FPS with dinosaurs. You can get in the playtest now. It looks kind of bad. A game called Sand, which was a big multiplayer FPS where everyone seemed to drive gigantic mechs, and it was like multiple people driving it. Like you have to have actual humans.
Oh yeah, I think I saw this somewhere.
Yeah, it seems kind of neat. I almost misread this as Haze, but this is Hosey. They're doing a playtest. This is a weird.
Is this a cozy game with hose?
No, it's
Damn.
you're making your home cozy. So you get to build.
Boo!
Yeah, boo.
Yeah,
Boo.
no, it's remodeling the room and then like unpacking stuff into the room. It looked pretty nice. I want to try the playtest, but I haven't had a chance yet. All Will Fall open beta starts June 9th, and a demo is out already. It's a physics-based survival city builder. So it's like you're building a city in the middle of the ocean and like trying to build it up, and it's naturally the waves and stuff will cause it to just come crashing down. Look pretty neat. Of Ash and Steel is doing a playtest. This is a weird Western RPG with lots of different factions you can join.
Aggro something.
Ash and Steel.
There it is.
God damn it! But yeah, I watched the whole trailer. I was like, how is this doing a playtest? This just seems like a normal single player, like the Western RPG thing. This is weird. I have no idea what to expect from the game now.
Maybe it's
they
like
just don't have any QA.
Maybe.
maybe it's like that the Gothic remake had a demo like 4 years ago and it's still not out. Like they had a early access test and it's still not fucking out.
Oh.
And Neo did those betas, so maybe it's something like that where it's like, is there any huge fucking obvious problem with our game we're somehow unable to see? Please tell us.
Hey, chat.
And that outright saved Neo.
Chat, the Windows 11 best features back. My mouse doesn't exist.
Oh my god. It's funny that that beta let them find out, oh, we shouldn't have this durability system in Neo. And here is Blades of Fire coming in from behind for the home run by putting in the durability system, making it way worse because now if your weapon breaks a certain number of times, it's just gone forever and you can't repair it.
Yep.
This is a cool game.
I mean, it's all about you being... And now my mouse is back.
Wow.
Nothing changed. I just clicked over to Discord and then it appeared.
In the Hello Neighbor 3 playtest is happening sometime. That's where this big creepy guy in the thumbnail's from.
Everybody recognizes Hello Neighborman.
It's true.
He goes, hello neighbor.
Aren't you like, I feel like as a creator I'd be ashamed if my entire franchise was based on, what if Ned Flanders was a little bit creepy?
Strong appeal.
Because he just stalks you and goes, hello neighbor.
Oh, does he actually say that?
Yeah.
I did not know this.
At least in the
I thought he
first
was-
one.
I thought he was just silent.
He would be spookier that way.
Huh.
There was another conference this week.
There was.
We're
I
not going
didn't
to talk about it. I'm just going to show the logo, and I think you'll all understand why I might show the logo. We do that shit every week. The fuck are you talking about?
I can't see this and not just think of Da Vinci.
They should get them to fucking host it. The Thinky?
I forgot that was a thing. I need to go back and watch that.
Yeah, I figured it was supposed to be like puzzle games and stuff that Aggro would like. I didn't. It was today, so I didn't really have time to even check it. And there was another one today. I kind of don't remember the name of either. It's like an indie direct or something.
It's happening. Just 10 million conferences all at once.
Yeah, they're all
That
shooting
shit's 3
early for
hours
some
long.
reason.
Jesus.
I mean, as long as they're stacking them inside of a month, I'm cool with it.
Which one's 3 hours long?
The Thinky Direct.
Whoa!
Yeah, you got to have room for the weird protracted ARG
Yeah.
Wow.
that I'm assuming is in there.
Every trailer together seems to be like 30 minutes long, so there's probably a lot of wheat and chaff in that. At least you can just tab through it.
Man, I'm used to that in the ones that are made in Japan. It's just becoming Japanese television. I'm not used to it any other ones.
Or the PC gaming show.
I don't know what to talk about.
Show's great.
That
It
film
has-
was peak.
It has,
The PC gaming, it has gotten a lot better, but the first couple years it was fucking dire.
It was.
It
and that
was.
made it great.
It was,
No, Pop's like,
No,
yeah, I like
it
the
was-
way this sucks.
it was great. They cut to the lady up on the balcony, and she's like, "Help! I'm next to a fucking mascot." This segment
Yes.
saved me.
I remember the very first PC gaming show opened with them pouring Mountain Dew into a champagne glass.
That's great. It's terrible.
That's gonna do it for Big Think Dimension this week. Chris, Enjoy X6
I'm playing
on Saturday.
I'm playing Mega Man X6 on Saturday, and the week after that, I'm doing fucking nothing because I'm going to be constantly on Summer of Game streams. You'll have plenty of fucking streams with me in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yeah. And again, big think. Friday
after Summer Games Fest. We get to talk all about the Switch 2. And of course, our Switch 2 launch coverage is going to be there right at midnight on Thursday, even if it is us going live with nothing working.
That sounds like what's going to happen, and I'm super excited.
So I hope you're just as excited as I am. Also, tomorrow is the Quantum Superposition Happy Birthday stream where you get to flop swap whose birthday it is because this Friday is directly in between both of our birthdays.
Mm-hmm.
Last Friday wasn't Bob's birthday. That wasn't Bob's birthday stream. And Big Thing definitely was not Bob's birthday stream. So this is one of our birthday streams.
We just don't know which.
We just don't know whose.
And don't forget, like Chris said, all next weekend is Summer Game Fest. It's so much stuff is happening. There's an Xbox show. You want to know what they know.
And
well, I wonder if Contraband will be there if that game's just canceled.
That game's just canceled.
Yeah, there's so many things that we'll find out are canceled next week.
This industry's so cooked.
It really is. I was like, did he say cucked or cooked? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's the
Please
same
look
fucking
forward
thing.
to this. Most years it's the summer of gaming. This year it's the summer of quiet desperation.
Yeah, I'm serious when I say this might have the most dire tone we've ever seen from a summer of gaming ever.
Right? And we went through the year it started, which was COVID.
That was pretty fucking dire. That was exhausting.
I'm gonna get
it just wouldn't stop.
I'm gonna get halfway through this week and be like, I wish I had COVID. That's it. Please look forward to it. I'm very excited. And enjoy Monday's podcast.
Yeah, that's a good one.
We will see you all next time. Bye-bye now. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Wait a second. What is it? Oh, no!
Thank you very much for listening to this episode of Big Think Dimension, Mario. You can support Big Think Dimension over at patreon.com/gbpodcast, where you can become some sort of pod lord, which gets you claim to fame. Can you ascend the ranks and become king of the pod lords? Just give us lots of money and you'll find out. That's patreon.com/gbpodcast.